Yeah, you started rough.
I'll get in so much trouble if that happens. So
if your mom watches it, man, I know the feeling. It's
well, no,
really,
no. It's not that at all.
Yeah,
I'll get in so much trouble if that happens. It's not that at all.
Who's that? If your mom watches it, man, I know the feeling.
It's not me. I'm wearing these things. No. It's not that at all.
Yeah,
I'll get it. Oh, I missed it.
What was that?
That was something. Yeah, see right here, John. It's telling me this Hangout on Air is live. That's how I used to start these videos. I forgot. Way back in the day.
How's that?
I would say, hey, John, this is Johnny Beane, and this Hangout on Air is live. I used to say that every time. Because I would read it. It would say it. Now,
so it tells you like a countdown now?
I don't know. All the features
will no longer be live, and
everything's going away. Hangouts on Air is going away August 1st. And they want you to use YouTube's webcam. Which is great. You know, it's not reversed anymore. Like, remember when Joe Wentz was backwards, you know?
He was backwards
for months.
Yeah. How is Joe? Gotta reach out to Joe, man.
He's good. He was live earlier tonight. I guess. I just missed his stream by like minutes.
Shoot, you know? I gotta jump out there, man.
Well, like you say, we'll figure it out. We'll figure out the Hangouts thing. Make it work.
Yeah. Oh no. I already planned everything out, and everything's cool, but it's just what? It's 9:22 p.m.
9:22
where I am.
Everyone was saying how shiny I was, or my forehead was yesterday. I don't know how bad is it tonight.
A little shiny.
You have a glow about you, John.
I do have a hat. I don't know. Let's see how bad the hat looks.
It's a glow about you, brother.
What kind of hat?
I don't know if the headphones will work. Yeah, that's not bad.
I like hats.
There you go.
How's that?
Cool.
I don't know.
What is that?
Key West. I think it's Key West.
There you go. Yeah, see, you look.
I was going to wear the Patriots hat, but Michael Smith wouldn't approve, so.
No,
we got to keep it friendly, so.
I'd be on a plane to Massachusetts to kick your ass.
No worries. So we'll try this. Hopefully, I don't blind anyone with the forehead.
Huh? No, you look fine. You look fine.
You've only had the best quarterback ever.
I'm not worried about it.
Yeah.
Best quarterback ever. Yeah. Well, he'll go down in history.
Without a doubt. I mean, well, I don't want to get into sports because I know Johnny's eyes glaze over. But
I have no interest in sports whatsoever.
Right.
Never have.
Yeah.
I don't really either, but fair weather fan at best. I'm just happy that the local teams are doing as well as they do.
Massachusetts kicking ass as far as sports go, man. No two ways about it. So
who's out there tonight?
Yeah. Wow. Roll call.
Well, what's the date? It's
Mully says go Bengals. Hello, Mully.
July 6th, 2019. Where's Jay? Where's Jay?
Where's Jay?
What happened to
Jay? I see his avatar. I don't know what happened to him though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see Abraham Lincoln hanging out there.
He was all ready to go, and then he had to go do some business. So no, Jay's fixing a drink. He'll be back shortly.
That's right.
Yeah.
Priorities.
Yeah. Should I do it? Should I do roll call?
Yes.
I can do it. I can
do it in a style of Jay Hannon or the style of John Mancuso.
Here's how you do it. Here's how to do it. Catherine, you just gave me an idea how to do this stuff from now on. Thank you, Catherine. You guys, let us know where you're from in the chat. Where are you right now? And see, that way it'll fill right up and I can just read every name.
Perfect.
And there it is. But yeah, we'll start out. Hey, this is Johnny Beane, and I'm live from Santa Cruz, California right now, where there has not been any earthquakes yet.
Thank God.
Earthquakes are a little ways away, but we're actually afraid that they'll be working their way up here any day now.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, do they work their way up the coast through the San Andreas or?
Well, there's the different faults. Yeah. Yeah. I used to live right on that fault. actually, San Andreas. I think I'm on a different one now.
Yeah, this last one didn't involve the San Andreas. It was a different fault, but it was 7.1 or 2. That's a big
Really?
Mm-hmm. Oh, there's two of them.
Mancuda posted it. I think 6.5 was what he had heard, but yeah, and I know closer to the epicenter it gets.
Yeah, I think the epicenter was 7 something, which is crazy when you think about it.
Yeah, that is crazy.
I think there was two of them. I think there was one day, and there was an aftershock the next day, which was almost just as bad. I think.
Mm-hmm.
Ouch.
I think that's what I heard. Mully is in here. He's in Japan. Jimmy Bider is in. What is it? Nanya.
None your business.
Brett McCord is in. Says hey to Denny Allen. Let's see. It's up here. Josco Plumbing Supply. Josco, did you just follow me on Instagram? I saw. Somebody just followed me named Josco.
He's from the Bronx,
New York.
Yeah, bro.
Eduardo, can I do the Mancuda? Mancuda.
The Mancuda. Now we know. The
Mancuda.
Eduardo from São Paulo, Brazil. Steve Carmichael from Atlanta. Super hot. Oh man, stay cool, dude. Ed Dana is you're in the corner of Bedlam. Is it? Yeah, Catherine. Where are you? I see you're up. You're one of the first ones. Mickey is from Eureka. Rena's Pinkel. Lake. Can I read that?
That's Lake Titicaca. That's a real place. It's a real place. You know, people are from there.
Dr. Jimmy is in Santa Rosa. Denny Allen's in Pennsylvania. John Moronic, is it? Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Brian's in Arkansas. Johnny Beane's dog. I have no idea where I am. You're in the other room.
That's I was going to say.
By the way, happy half birthday to Howie today.
Happy birthday. Happy almost.
Half birthday. It was 16 and a half years ago today that we got Howie.
God bless him.
So, and it was right here in Santa Cruz, actually. That's where we got him. So, happy half birthday to Howie.
Awesome.
Yes.
And
yeah.
Popped in Jay. Hello, Jay.
Hey, man.
Jay's making me hungry. I'm going to have to get some Cheez-Its too, maybe.
Oh, thank goodness those are Cheez-Its. I thought maybe there was something else you were just talking about.
No, I don't do that and this at the same time.
Get the munchies.
Wow. Yeah, we're just reading off the soda is in Blind River, Ontario, Canada. We've got we still have friends from Canada. You know, they all haven't turned on us.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we saw a few last night too.
John Moronic, Milwaukee. Oh, I read that. Where am I? R2, R3. Is that where you really are? R2, R3. R2, R3. I want to say you're in Illinois, right? Is that right?
Go Bears.
Is that right?
Chicago.
Brett McCord is in South Carolina. Tony Neville is in NC. I'm assuming that's North Carolina.
Can you see that? Somewhere back there, or is it too dark?
That empty, that huge patch of floor?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, my wife sold all my guitars, so.
Oh.
Except for these ones.
That's sad.
Wow.
No, that's not true because you would say my ex-wife sold all my guitars.
No, I'd say my dead wife is what I'd say. Cops will be here any minute, boys. This
Holy crap.
My wife sold all my guitars.
Well, hey, viral video. You know,
yeah.
we got to do something to beat last night, man. You know?
You want me to stand up and turn around?
Man, leave a thumbs up.
Maybe.
What? Leave a thumbs up, you guys. Leave a thumbs up if you were here last night or if you watched the replay of last night today and just couldn't believe what you were seeing.
That was pretty cool.
It was a lot of fun.
A lot of fun.
You can't hear me chewing, right?
Brian said that I posted.
It's fine.
No. If you can hear it, I'm not gonna. I don't want to.
Crunch, crunch, crunch.
You
I
can
can't, no, I can't hear it.
Could you guys hear me easy? I just have a peanut butter. Can you guys tell?
Hey guys, hey, can you tell I'm chewing?
Oh yeah, welcome to the peanut butter podcast.
Oh man,
The peanut butter podcast, or the whole podcast. We talk like this.
I wonder if there's this peanut butter podcast.
Peanut butter.
Sounds like you have cotton in your cheek.
You said cotton, right?
Big cotton.
Large cotton mouth.
Oh man. Danny Alexander, hello from Texas. Hello.
We're in Texas.
Yeah.
OX is.
I don't know if it's real, but there is a peanut butter podcast on Stitcher.
I'm sure it is real.
Yeah.
But do we talk like this? If not, we got to grab that show quick and just do that. Where we just talk like that. We just eat peanut butter and we just talk the entire time.
Yeah. A mouthful of peanut butter.
And since I just said it, and it's timestamped 9:32 p.m. on the 6th of July, it's my idea.
Mm-hmm.
Here, you know, I just said
It's
it.
as good as a copyright.
Cisco, Texas. That's cool. Speaking of podcasts, yeah, we do have a regular podcast now for this program. Actually, for all the programs on this channel. It's all the same stuff. But different, right? These shows, they're not all totally identical. They're slightly, there's something a little different going on. Unless
actually, everyone, all three have a different twist to it.
Well,
That's right.
I will say this.
There's three of them.
I think the fact that we don't just talk about gear and guitars and stuff. We talk about other things besides music, and people still tune in to watch and listen. So I think, I think it's cool.
Yeah. I mean, each one, it's the same show, right? Really? But I mean, each one has a different flavor. Mancuda, right? And then the original three.
No. The original two. Well, the original one.
I'm sorry.
Then the original
one
two.
original Johnny Beane. I mean, let's be real.
Nothing original on
It's
the
the one
show about me.
factor, the Johnny Beane factor.
I think he meant Nesdal counts as two people.
Oh my God.
Wow, that's brutal.
Is that what you meant, Michael?
He's lost a lot of weight, man, by the way.
Yeah, Dave looks
Look at him. He's looking awesome.
I've never met him. I've never seen him. So
Dave,
Michael Smith, you've actually seen both of us in person.
yes. Yep. I've met you. I hung out with you for 5 days straight, which was awesome, by the way.
You drove me around.
Yep. In the convertible Mustang. That was a trip.
Thank you. Got me an amplifier.
Yeah, that's right.
Thank you again
Very
so
nice.
much, man. And actually, we're going to talk about this too because I got some questions. I got questions, man.
Yeah, let's see the rundown on it.
Have you tried it at all? I mean, did you check out the stereo aspect like I was telling you earlier?
Yeah. I played through it just on the couch.
All right.
Plugged in. I guess my question is if you guys have used the software, if you guys have downloaded everything that they tell you in the pamphlet that you should download, if you guys have done all that.
I have not, so I'm the wrong person to ask. If anybody, I mean, Jay, have you? John?
Have I what? Have I used
I don't have one.
my THR 10X?
What?
When you first got it, oh, that's right. We play guitar. We don't read manuals. Okay, I forgot.
The only thing you have to make sure you do is look at this little yellow card.
Yeah.
Yes, it says, "Read me first, please install
Quick start
Yamaha."
guide.
What?
I thought it was like a quick start guide. That's what they do.
Well, no, it says, "Please install Yamaha Steinberg USB driver before connecting the THR to your computer via USB cable. Otherwise, the THR may not function properly." So basically, you can brick your amp before you even use it.
Yeah, if you connect it.
And it gets scarier because if you crack open that pamphlet, which is this thick.
Yeah.
It actually says in there, make sure everything is turned off before you plug everything in and turn everything on. Otherwise, your computer can freeze and crash, and it's saying all that stuff. So my question, kind of, I guess, was
my answer is don't connect it.
Should I plug everything in, with everything turned off, and then turn everything on, and then download?
No, I downloaded the driver. I'm trying to think. Did I get a restart? Sometimes when you install a new driver to your computer, you have to restart it anyway.
Yeah, it also depends on the type of operating system. Though, also, you got to remember that Apple, for the most part, not all the time. And I know you just got your new MacBook. You don't have to worry so much about drivers.
Mm-hmm.
If you do Windows, it's a different story.
I would do it anyway, though, man.
Well,
I wouldn't either. No, I'm not saying to do it. I'm just saying.
I was going to do this Windows. I wasn't going to do the Mac.
Okay.
I was going to do my main computer because all my actual recording, everything I do was on this main computer.
Okay. All right.
Well, Michael, you know how I know that Johnny loves the amp?
Oh.
It's already open and on his effing desk, dude. How many other things? Like, oh yeah, Johnny goes to NAMM, he gets free strings, and there's every one of Johnny's guitars has the strings are old. Yeah. I'm gonna put them on. I'll put them on.
Yeah, Johnny can reach back right now and say, "Here's NAMM 1991 strings. Let me open them up tonight and put them on."
Well, you'll be shocked, or maybe not, that I waited until this afternoon to open it.
Did you?
I didn't open it at all yesterday or last night or half of today. I waited till probably just like 4 hours ago.
Well,
so technically, it wasn't unboxed. It was, it was unboxed in a delivery package, but it was never unboxed. You unboxed it.
You don't want to take it out of the box when you have like 20 minutes to play with it. You want to take it out of the box when you have 4 hours to play with it.
Yeah.
Good point.
No, I know.
I stand corrected.
Brian Landreth says, I hate software to run an amp. No, you don't need it. It's basically, it comes with an editor program if you want to really delve into really customizing the settings, but you honestly could just plug it into the wall, plug your guitar into it, and turn it on and be 100% fine with it.
It's a plug and play amp. Yes.
Yeah, it is. It's a plug and play amp.
Yeah, and you're going to get some killer sounds out of it too.
Oh, totally. But I mean,
so let's say when you download the software, and you got that program on your computer, are you able to tweak the sounds and create new sounds within the software? Yeah.
And then this has 5 user memory presets, so you can save 5 presets to. If you could see it on the top left there next to the power switch.
And you switch in between them.
Yep.
There it is. Okay. All right.
Yeah. So it's totally customizable. User memory. I mean, you can tweak whatever you want.
Hold that back up, Johnny. Let me show you my.
It is kind of heavy.
I know. It's definitely not light. So you have. I'm trying to look at the amp models, I guess we would call them.
Here, let me.
What do you got? I'm getting deathly.
That's what mine has.
Well, I'm trying to read on your right, under amp. Okay, so you got flat, acoustic, bass, clean, crunch, lead, Brit high, and modern. The modern is heavy enough, man, because the modern is the heaviest the THR5 goes.
This thing's heavy enough.
Yeah, it's heavy enough as it is.
And it's got this little handle. It's almost like you could just hold it like that, but you can't. You can't. And this thing does get loud, you guys. Whatever's in there, those 2 little 2-inch speakers.
It's loud and it sounds good loud. And it
sounds really good.
And you get a stereo sound out of it, which is crazy.
So now I'll show you. I wonder if I should turn that. Oh, here we go.
Tubes or solid state? Those are tubes, right?
No, this is solid state.
Oh, it's solid state.
Yeah, it's all digital. So you got, what's the bottom one? Flat, bass, clean. So I have no acoustic simulator. Power 1, Power 2, Brown 1, Brown 2, and Southern High. So, and like I said, man,
I gotta pick that version up, Jay.
the modern, it's heavy enough. It's super. So Johnny, I know you're not the metal guy, so that amp is actually probably better suited for you.
Well, I mean, you know what I can do is I can plug anything. I can chain any pedal I want through there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can.
Have effects loop.
You know.
Or I guess you wouldn't go through a loop.
No, just in line.
No, just in line. Just in line. Like I've got my own Brown. You know, Michael Smith. Thank you, dude. Thanks again, man. Yeah, you gave me the 1550 overdrive.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Remember, you popped open your trunk. You're like, here, John. Here's the Colorado T-shirt in this pedal. Remember that?
Yeah. I'm like, here you go. Nice to meet you.
Well, you know what's cool about that? You know
that pedal is killer, by the way.
I put a overdrive pedal. You know the video of me doing the intro to Mean Street?
Yeah, it's amazing, by the way.
I had an overdrive pedal in front of. I didn't have this one, the THR 10X. Then it was the 5. It was the smaller one, and I had that running. So I dialed the gain back on the amp, and then used the overdrive just to give it a little extra something. So you can run these things like a normal amp. They're awesome. They really are.
Yeah. I'm excited. I'm excited to dive into this thing, because I mean, I did plug it in. I mean, you obviously I just showed it to you, so it's out of the box.
Yeah.
I mean, the box is right there on the couch.
Well, you just had it in your hand.
I just had it in my hand.
Yeah, but really, for anybody out there that doesn't have one of these things, to me, what I like about it the most, it's small, it's got killer sound, but it has a stereo sound to it that it's wide. It's one of those kind of like a surround sound thing. It sounds a lot bigger than it is because of the stereo effect that they built into the amp. So it's really.
And especially when you put on the chorus and the reverb. I mean, it sounds cool, man.
Yeah.
And everybody, Michael, you have the 5, but still same type of idea. Anybody in the chat that has the 10 or the 5, whatever, when you're playing in your room or your recording studio, whatever it is, just by yourself, how often do you actually plug into an amp now that you have this little practice amp? Even a Katana, same type of idea.
Great point. Yeah.
Because I don't, unless I'm recording something or need a different whatever.
You don't because you don't need to, really.
Well, that's all I do now. I don't use an amp at all. I use a pedal board with a direct box and a Sans amp, and I mean it's all kind of analog my setup. But I've gone through like the Line 6 setup. I have the what is it?
Line 7. You have the Line 7 up there.
No, the Line 6 gearbox, which I used for a long time, which is just the smallest little USB box that they have. But then you get the whole, again, all the emulators and plugins that you can use. So, yeah, I haven't used an amp in years, man. I have a small Marshall combo, but I don't use that very often.
Wow.
R2 says, yep. Lockenut says he uses the Yamaha. Your one, the same one you have, Jay, the X.
Yeah.
10X all the time.
And I mean, even right now, like for recording purposes, I'm tracking solos, and you think I want to fire up an amp every time I'm tracking solos? No, I'll plug direct. I won't use the the Yamaha for that, but I'll use like a plug-in, amp for that, and then reamp it later. So I track all the stuff and then reamp everything at one time, just so it's I don't have an amp firing up out here, all the time. So.
Yeah. Howdy, what's your process for reamping? Sorry, Johnny.
What's your process for reamping? Sorry, John.
I'm always talking.
That wasn't quite my question. It was close. We can ask the same question.
Answer Johnny first.
Well, that wasn't my question.
Well, Johnny, you had to ask your question.
My question was going to be, I forgot.
And Crowbar, the Roland Microcube is a good amplifier.
They just gotta shut the fuck up.
That's a good little amplifier. There we go.
Yeah, the Roland. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a great amp.
Yep.
That's a great amp. I've got that one as well. It's right there. It's on the floor. No, Jay, I was going to ask you though. When you do your when you track through your computer using the software,
Pro
do you
Tools.
have when you use Pro Tools? Do you have the effects? Like, how can I explain this? I did a solo using what was that? I'm playing through a computer. I did a solo, and I'll upload a video of it at some point for you guys on YouTube. I uploaded it on Facebook like months ago, and people saw it. But I did the solo just on a clean guitar. There was no distortion, no nothing. But and then I added all the magic later, and it sounded like I'd actually rocked out on the thing. Yeah,
it's very rare that I'll record any type of effects into Pro Tools.
You want a dry feed going in, right?
Yeah, the amp into Pro Tools and then the effects after. Because I mean, unless a guitar player has like a specific, like this delay has to be on this part or something, you know, I can pretty much emulate so many different things in Pro Tools nowadays. And sometimes it's just great to have like the flexibility later on during mixing or whatever, where you're like, you know what, the delay is, you know, it's too wet. You want to dial it back. It's kind of bleeding out everything. And it's great to have that flexibility later on when you like, do that reverb is too much. You pull it back a little bit, and it's just, it's cool to have that. So yeah, any type of effects are usually done in the box with a plugin.
Which is crazy when you think about it. From the late 60s and early 70s, all the absolute iconic albums that are out there. The sound that they got out of those, you know, I mean.
Well, in the way that they used to mix, I mean, the contrast between today and the way they would mix them back then, where you'd have, you know, 6 people at the desk all running the faders. And I can't imagine, I mean, how you mixed a big album like Dark Side of the Moon or something like that. I mean,
those were real engineers back then. Those were real engineers. I mean, that's the thing. Like, the times were different. Those guys realized that, like, hey, all the stuff we're recording, any effects that you put in there, it's all on tape. Like, there's the only time you can go back is when there's a recall. And one of the jobs for the assistant engineer in a real studio situation is to any kind of like outboard gear, like a delay unit or a reverb unit or whatever, is they have printouts of each of the front of all these units, and you have to mark and label where every knob is. So if there is a recall, like, hey, we got to, you know, remix a song and change a couple things, the assistant engineer goes in there and sets up the whole board how it was and sets up all the outboard gear exactly how it was. And then the mix engineer will come in and make whatever adjustments he has to. That's what I'm saying. Back then, dude, I mean, it was a whole different ball game, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
But nowadays you can still take as much time just tweaking the, you know, the what do they call them? The keyframes and stuff like that, when you're just tracking volume levels and panning levels and effects levels throughout a
dude. I mean, when I mix for a band or whatever, you know,
you're doing the same thing. It's just you're doing it.
But it's so much faster. But I'll send a mix to them, and then, you know, I'll get an email back with like notes of like, hey, you know, this vocal line we need louder, or the harmony vocal on this, you know, whatever. And then I just literally load the session up and make the changes, and within, you know, short time, it's right back to them. I mean,
do you save as a new session though too?
Yes, I always have like the first mix that I do, official mix will be 1.0, and then if I adjust at 1.1, so I can always go back to a previous mix if I have to.
Yeah, that's the great thing about technology today. Is, you know, you open up a session and there's like 10 different mixes of the same thing, where you can open each one up and it's there.
Yeah.
You know, and nothing is printed these days. Like back in the day, they would say, you know, print it, and that delay would be stuck to that song, and there's no, it's just stuck. These days, you can change. You have way too much control over effects, sounds. You can tweak everything.
And sometimes that's a bad thing, because I mean, mixing my own
You
stuff.
go down a rabbit hole, right? You can
Yeah,
well,
mixing.
Absolutely, yeah.
Mixing other people's stuff is much easier than mixing my own stuff because I'm always like second guessing everything I'm doing.
Yeah.
And you hear your own stuff in a different way than you hear other people's music. And I know anybody that makes their own music probably feels the same way. Like you can listen to somebody else's stuff as an outsider and kind of like just analyze it. Your own stuff, you're just like you don't hear it the same, man.
That's why you want to bring in outside ears that you trust.
Yeah, exactly.
And if they say, try this, and you try it, and hopefully if it sounds better, then
Danger.
yeah.
Because this might sound weird when a band sends me their stuff, even if it's like a demo of what the final tracks that they're sending me, I kind of listen to it and I kind of know where to go with it. It's like, okay, this needs to, you hear it weird with your own stuff, man. You've been there the whole way and it's just so different.
It's very hard with your own stuff because, you'll make the first demo, I mean, these days you can just record onto a sound machine or something, you can just record, real quick. Just the scratch idea of whatever it is. And then, but the problem with these days is technology has gotten so great with a freaking MacBook or whatever this is, where you can make an actual record on this freaking thing right here.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
And it's like the demo becomes the actual thing.
Just think of how much a recording studio costs, back then, even today. And you can buy a computer for $1,000 and then load the software on, and you're going to get the same quality. And Brian Landrich said that it sounded great back then. The sound quality, it did. But remember, listen to it back then, and don't get me wrong, it sounded awesome. But now you have all these remasters coming out. You're remastering it on computers, so they tweak it, and it even sounds a little bit better. So, I mean, technology is really
it's helped. I think for a long time people wanted to resist it, and it was the analog wars and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Resist the robots.
Yeah,
resist the robot. But I mean,
it's helped. I mean, in the long run,
they love robot bands.
If it makes it sound better, if it's remastered and it sounds better and it sounds cleaner, all they're doing is cleaning up the hiss from the tapes, right? I mean, that's really what remastering.
Well, they're
right. You tell me,
kind of bringing them to the modern day volume levels, pretty much. I mean, the loudness and kind of changing some EQ issues and stuff like that.
They're tweaking it to make it sound better to the ear.
Yes. Yeah. Right. I know that they remastered. Pantera did some remasters a couple years back.
What album?
They remastered the first two. They probably remastered all of them by now.
Yeah.
But I know when they remastered Cowboys from Hell, I downloaded it. I think I actually paid for that one on and it was just like whoever remastered it, their ears must have had like no high end left because it was like, oh,
yeah,
it was terrible.
Really?
Yeah, and when everything got uploaded to digital a couple of years later, like Spotify and everything.
But then you think about that at the time.
I think they remastered it again because it was so bad. It was so bad.
Oh, and that's
that album had such a specific sound to it.
It was already high-endy enough with Dimebag's guitar.
Yeah,
they were very much like a sort of what was it, Metallica Justice album, that kind of sound. But you could hear Rex and you could hear the bass, but
oh yeah,
it was that crunched sound.
Yeah, and if you have a song on your computer also that's been remastered and you don't like it, you can remaster it.
Mm-hmm.
You can pull up the EQ and you can tweak it to your ear. So
it's the way it's what and people, if you want to resist it, but I think it's the way it is now, and I think there's more advantages than disadvantages.
Hey, Clayton James Hicks, what's up, man? He says today is Strat Day. That's right, it is, man.
Hey,
yeah.
Clayton.
What's up, Clayton?
Clayton. Yeah, it's Straturday.
That's right.
Get it?
Night Live.
It's like Stratocaster instead of Sat. Saturday, Straturday.
I was planning on taking my Strat apart tonight, and if we have time, maybe take my Strat apart.
You know what you do? String it up, string it up and tune it up, and then unscrew the neck. Just watch it fold like a lawn chair.
I already took the strings and springs off, so if I'm a little while, it'll give me the inspiration to take that to the next level and maybe start the 78 franking on it.
We will be dissecting a Strat tonight.
Well, yeah, I'll try and get that going.
I gotta read a comment. We were talking about the engineer stuff, and the dog paw says it sounded great back then because us old guys knew what we were doing. You're damn right. All those guys that did engineering and all that stuff back before digital, those were real engineers, man. I mean, those are guys that they couldn't rely on the whole like fix it in the mix mentality that a lot of us do. I mean, I've gotten tracks from bands, that they recorded themselves, and I'm like, oh my God. And with today's technologies, you can fix stuff and make it sound, you can't obviously, what is it, turn a poop
polish
a turd. But you can kind of shine it up a little bit.
You can take the stink away from some stuff, some turds these days.
Yeah. There was one band that they sent me their files, and all they had was a stereo drum track. They didn't have the individual files, like snare bottom, top, whatever. It was a stereo drum track, and I'm like, I can't do much with this. The cymbals sounded like crap. There was so many issues with just the stereo drum track, and I'm like, I have to what I did was I programmed the drums. I took the drum track. It was recorded to a click, so that helped. But I went in and with Superior Drummer, went in and basically reprogrammed the entire song drum-wise.
It takes the analog recorded, or not analog.
I don't even know. It probably wasn't
the
analog.
audio files, but it would find a kick and it would know where to put in a digital.
No, I had to go in there by hand. I program my drums by hand because I feel like I have more control and I can like make things sound not robotic if you don't put everything on the grid itself.
Mm-hmm. I got to get into that. I got to get into the Caleb.
There it is.
Hey, Lynn.
Caleb.
Lynn is here. Hey, Lynn. Hey, Lynn.
Hello, Lynn.
Halen, who is that?
Do you guys remember Lynn from
I remember, yeah.
Wow.
Cool.
Yeah, Lynn. Yeah, Larry Mitchell.
Yep.
Lynn, great to see you. Wow.
The one thing I will say about being able to program drums nowadays with Superior Drummer 3 they're up to now, which is just amazing. The one thing that drives me nuts, and I think a lot of the solo guitarists of our day, modern day, I think that they're doing the stuff themselves. They're like programming the drums themselves, and it sounds fake. And with this technology that they have now, it doesn't have to. I mean, if you get somebody that can program drums and make them sound like a real drummer played them, it's worth its weight in gold. The lack of a better term. And I just don't understand why more.
You're talking about like rock tracks or pop tracks? Or?
No, I'm talking about solo guitarists, and I'm not going to name any names because some of them are friggin' great. And I wish I would give one of my things down there to play like them, but I really feel like it hurts it. I can't listen to a couple of
Hopefully not the one in the middle.
I only have one of those, so.
Would you give away the thing in the middle for
Nothing.
something? Nothing?
No.
The stick?
But I'm serious, man. That's the one thing that drives me nuts about some of these amazing guitar players is that they don't get somebody from the outside to kind of like, hey, let's get your drums sounding real instead of just, everything's full velocity and just, sounds like fake drums, man.
Mm-hmm. And Lynn, definitely. Yeah. Let's talk soon. This week.
This week's over.
Wow. Oh, is it? Next week. Soon, very soon. Yeah, I think last time we talked was I was in your area. I remember. We were on the phone. We were on the phone. I was outside standing next to my car talking to her. And she's like, Johnny, you know, we've got the highest crime rate in the area. And I'm standing here like, oh, crap, I better go back inside.
I'm going to go home.
Wow.
And to give you an example, and I'm sorry to, I'm really,
No, this is your area, man.
Yeah, it's your field, man.
I mean, I love this stuff. And that's what kind of makes me upset about it. But I programmed some drums for Larry Mitchell, right?
Mhm.
And the first song I sent him, he didn't know I was doing it. I was like, you know what? I heard like some of the stuff he was like playing live to. I was like, man, that's, you know, Larry Mitchell deserves, you know, because I know he was doing the drums himself, you know. So I hope he doesn't get upset about this, but, you know, he knows I love him and he's one of my favorite guitar players. But anyway, sent him a song that I did, and he's like, did you like play those drums yourself? Like, what did? And I was like, dude, I programmed those. He's like, what? He couldn't believe that they weren't like played real drums. So
You just became Larry Mitchell's drummer.
well, I still have to do one more for him, and he's been not bugging me, but he's like, hey man, when are you doing that song? I'm like, it's one of the hardest as far as drum wise, because that first album that he did, the drummer on that album is phenomenal. And he did so many little things that I get it exact, man.
That's one of the best debut albums, I think, by a guitarist ever put down.
It's my second favorite solo guitar record of all time.
Really?
So you kind of sorry. Were you emulating his drummer from his record, or is that what you were?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Note for note, man.
Sorry, Michael.
No. It's all good. What's your first then? Since
Passion of Warfare. Passion of Warfare is the.
Yep.
Yeah, that's. I mean,
you cannot you'd be hard pressed to pick two albums as far as guitar playing go.
Yeah.
Yeah, Larry Mitchell's a beast on guitar, man. No doubt.
And a great guy. He really is. I mean,
yeah, one of the nicest guys. Oh my God, what a great human being.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's awesome.
Mm-hmm. And the first time I met him, I was about to pee my pants. I drove, you know, he had the Facebook Live thing, and he was like in town. He's like, hey, what are you doing tomorrow night? I'm like, what? He's like, I'm going to be like a half hour away from you. You want to come hang out and jam on my Facebook Live? I'm like, what? You know, I'm like freaking out. And, you know, I walk in the door with my guitar, and he's sitting on the couch just ripping, man. Just like, you know, stuff I could never dream about doing. And before I can get two words out, he's like, hey, plug in. Let's jam the song. And I'm like, can I stop shaking first?
Yeah. I can imagine in your brain. He's like, so what are you doing tomorrow now? And you're saying, I don't know. You tell me.
Yeah, it was super cool. And then, you know, just to have somebody that like was one of your inspirations for picking up the guitar.
Yep. And to be that nice.
Yeah, and to call me and say, hey, what are you doing?
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Right. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so cool. Yeah, and Lynn. No. No, we're always talking about Larry all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. Yeah, Jay. Yeah, that was incredible.
It's great that we get to
do that.
That Dave, you know, was it Dave who introduced us to him?
Yep.
That's awesome.
So if it wasn't for, you know, being on this show, I would have never met Larry Mitchell. So.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I told you the story about Larry Mitchell, and I still am looking for this seat. Actually, since I'm going to be moving in a little while, if it works out, like I was telling you, Jay,
mm-hmm.
on to pack up some stuff. I was at a show, me and my cousin, and I recorded it on a VHS because I had a camera like this big. Remember, this is the the 90s. And I'm recording the show. I asked him, actually, can I film you? I just walked up to him. This is in a show in Long Island. And he's like, yeah. And his manager comes running up saying, you can't, no, you can't do this. And Larry was like, it's cool. Let him film it. I filmed the show live, and then me and my cousin helped him. We were basically roadies for hire. We helped him pack up all his stuff into his vans and stuff after the show. Never met him before. Just went up to him and said, can I do this? And he was that freaking cool. So that tape is somewhere here, and when I get it, I'm going to put it on.
Oh, you got to find that. Larry probably wants to see that.
Yeah, he wants it. I just haven't found it. I feel horrible that I haven't. But that was the first time I met him, and only time until last year's NAMM when Johnny was like, there he is. And me and Johnny went up and yeah. Remember that? We were walk. That was the last day, actually. That was Sunday. That was the last day in NAMM.
He was at the Traveler?
Yeah, the Traveler Guitars.
Traveler Guitars?
The Traveler Guitars, yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And we're walking by, and I'm walking in a daze, still looking at everything NAMM, and Johnny's a, pro at this stuff. He's like, it is Larry. Oh, hello. And then we went up to him, and exactly, yeah. And we went up to him, and we hung out and talked to him, and he was, again, as nice as you can be, man. So that's my Larry Mitchell stories.
Well, this is the CD that made me ask for a guitar, and Dave Nesdahl was nice enough to send me some Larry Mitchell picks because Larry doesn't even have these anymore.
And I had that same exact CD, and I showed you it when I was at that show I was just telling you about. He signed it for me.
Yep.
I
know. I asked Dave. I was like, Dave, should I bring my my CD to Larry to have him sign? He's like, dude, you're friends with him now. You can't have your friend sign the CD. I'm like, yeah, you got a point.
No, it's still cool. You can do that. That's all right.
Yeah,
I think that's cool.
I'd still ask him.
You get one. You get one. Everybody gets one.
I'd still ask him to sign it. Come on.
Use it wisely.
He'll be more than happy to do it too. That's how. I mean.
Oh, of course, man. Of course.
Yeah.
I gotta be. I think I know. I mean, I know Larry from all the guitar magazines back in the day. I mean, I recognized him. As soon as you guys, as soon as I discovered you guys, then shortly after Larry came on one of the shows, and I was like, yeah. I mean, I recognized that from the Guitar Worlds, the guitar players. From when he had all the endorsements and the ads back in the day, Ibanez and all that. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure I was familiar with his album, and I know I had heard it at some point. I'm just giving you my Larry history. But then, hearing everything that Larry's done, and I wasn't as familiar. I guess what I'm saying is I wasn't as familiar with him as you guys were, but I knew of him and his status as a shredder and as back in the day, just really bringing the instrumental guitar albums, as being a competitor with those Satriani and Eric Johnson and Vi and all those guys,
And his own spin on it, which was completely different than what they were doing, man. I mean, he's a special guitar player, man. He really is.
Yeah. No. I guess my biggest exposure has been here, but I've always known of him.
Well, have you listened to his first record? This one?
I've only since watching the show and since
just put it on, hit play, just run through it.
There's really not a bad moment on it. Every song.
Yeah, I've listened to
every song is great.
And it brings me back to that era too. I mean, as much as he did have his own style, or he does have his own style, but that the late '80s, early '90s era of guitar instrumental albums. I mean, there was dozens of them, and a lot of them were, super. Like of course, Passion Warfare was the high water mark, and Joe Satriani and that stuff, Eric Johnson, but. Yeah, there was a lot that were underrated, but I do remember, Larry and a lot of the Ibanez. I've got all my guitar player and catalogs and stuff.
Oh, where are they?
They're right there. I've showed you guys the Ibanez catalog.
Next to the bed.
Under the mattress.
It's right next to the crate next to the bed.
Yeah. Can you peel the pages apart?
Next to the lotion.
The Vaseline.
So
can we
Jay, real quick. What's your favorite album? What's your favorite song on Larry's first album? I'm just curious.
Dude, that's too hard, man. That's like
I know that wasn't fair.
Like ask me what my favorite dog is.
Yeah.
Howie, of course.
That's too hard. Every song is great on this album. And what I do sometimes, I'll listen to an album like, what's the worst song? If you had to take one song off this album, what would it be? With this album, I can't decide.
Well, that's a good way of looking at an album, though.
Yeah.
Never thought of that.
Yeah, but then you end up hating one song. Can we talk about one question that I think is great on here? We all can go around the room here, and everybody in the chat too, because I think it already struck some chords with people, or nerves. Keith Tyther, I hope I'm saying your name right. He says, don't you think playing through a real amp will make you a better player than through a computer? Now, my answer is not necessarily. I mean, of course you're going to feel the amp in the room and everything, but the benefit with playing through a computer, even if it's with a plug-in, and nowadays some of the amp simulators plug-in wise sound really, really good, is that you can change the sound so quick, and you can kind of get inspired by different sounds of different amps, different like effects and stuff like that. With an amp, sometimes it's sometimes the hassle to get in there, and different amps sound different, So I think when you have the ability to go into Pro Tools and pull up different amps, even if it's a plugin, and just pull up different settings and oh, well, what if I try this one or this delay and this? I think it can kind of make you play differently. So, I mean, whatever works for you, man, What do you guys think?
I think it's exactly what you said, whatever works for you. The one thing about amps, and as you know, you got three different things, right? You have tube, you have analog, and then you have playing through a computer, or digital, I should say, whatever. You're going to get different feel. You're going to get a completely different reaction to an amplifier, a good amplifier that's a tube amp, opposed to one that's not, right? Mm-hmm. Going through a computer, though, the way these programs are set up, they emulate tube amps so close. So it's really a toss-up. What do you like? I mean, and also what fits your need. Do you want to drag around? If you're gonna have a tube amp, it's gonna be heavy.
Yep.
Do you want to drag that around?
And I've said, guys, on here before, I mean, I have a 6505 back there. I have a Marshall you can see it back there, JMP1 right there. Simulclass 290 power amp down there. I have the Kemper right here. And I haven't turned any of those on unless I'm reamping and, recording guitars for real. I don't turn them on. I'm in the plugins and the THR. Yeah, the Yamaha when I'm just playing in my room, because I'm telling you, it sounds so good, man.
Mm-hmm. And for those that don't know, what's reamping? What does that mean?
Reamping is taking DI is a direct injection.
And what's all that noise?
Yeah, sorry. I'll show you what it.
The only one that got the headphones is the one making the most noise.
I'll show you my reamp box right now. So I have a Little Labs Red Eye. And I have another one back. I don't know where the hell it is. It's back there somewhere, but something's wrong with it. I got to get it fixed. But anyway, so you plug into that. You plug the output directly into your DAW, like Pro Tools or whatever, and it records basically direct from the pickup into your Pro Tools or whatever you're using. And then later on, you can send that out into the direct box, from Pro Tools into the direct box, into an amp, and then from the amplifier into the microphone, back into Pro Tools. So basically, you don't have to settle on a guitar tone right from the get-go. And I have this thing plugged right into Pro Tools, and it goes right into these plugins I'm telling you about. Like the Neural DSP stuff, Fortin amp stuff is unbelievable. How good it sounds, man! It's crazy.
And that's the thing, right? When you think about it, to the I mean, I can say untrained ear. To most people, you know, tell me the difference.
Well, you're right. Especially nowadays. You know, I don't think you'll ever convince Nesdal, but there's a lot of, especially the higher gain stuff nowadays. A lot of these bands, man, are playing with either a Kemper or something like that, man, where it's not a tube amp.
Yeah. Now I love my tube amps, and I'm never gonna get rid of them. I just love the way they sound, but that's me. But you know, at the end of the day, the average, you know, music consumer, they're not gonna hear the difference. That's just how much technology has come. I mean,
there is something special about the speaker moving. You know, you can
feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. And you get especially when you're playing, you can get that. It just feels different, man. It's different.
Dr. Jimmy is talking about, he says, I have a few expensive tube amps. I'm thinking of ditching them. They never get used anymore, and I play every day. Dude, do not sell your tube amps.
Right.
No, you will regret it. You'll regret it.
And you're a doctor, so you don't need the money.
There you go. Exactly. Buy more.
No, that stuff's just going to go up in value anyway.
Yes.
Yeah, there's something to be said about tube amps as far as I'm concerned. I mean, they're a special place as far as music goes. I'm just talking more or less about the masses, right? You know, just pumping out the music. Most people, they're not going to know the difference. You know, they're not unless you're a musician, really.
Yeah.
What do you guys think in the chat? You think could just write down tube or write down other or whatever? You know, I mean, do you guys really hear? Actually, we're talking to a bunch of geeks here. So.
And that's meant in a loving way.
Totally loving way. Absolutely.
I grabbed my 93 Ibanez catalog. There's Larry. I've shown this before, but there's literally everybody we're talking about in this catalog. First page, Steve Vai, Gems.
God, that gold hardware.
And there's the whole rundown there. Jay.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's the boner page right there, man.
Yeah.
Oh, crap, wrong one.
Satriani. Page 2 is Satriani.
A couple, maybe a year or so ago, I was thinking like maybe I should get a Satriani guitar, but Nesdal said the necks aren't like the Vi necks, where they're more like a Strat, you know, thickness.
Well, let's see. What's it say the neck profile is? Neck.
Well, the thickness, they're a lot thicker. I mean, dude, this thing, I think it's like 17 millimeters at the first fret. You know, that's as thin as it gets, man. You know, if you get thinner than that, you got problems.
Mm-hmm. Red Beach is the next one. There's
Wait, so all Ibanez necks aren't identical?
No.
That's what I always thought.
No, the Wizard 2, the Wizard something else, and then there's the Joe Satriani has his own profile. And it's all personal preference. Hey, like Renus Wrinkle Penis is good, and I would think that he would say that. Of course, he wants thick is good. But I mean, I don't know. I play thicker neck guitars, and I'm like, yeah, it's cool. But then I'll grab that one. And I'm like, oh yeah, man. This is better than this for me, you know.
Somebody else is in the house, by the way.
Oh yeah,
Nerd Halen.
Look at that! Wow, Caleb.
Caleb, what's up, man?
Evening.
What's up, buddy?
Hey, Caleb.
Good evening, everybody. It's funny. I sent Jay some texts. I littered the Kiesel board today with some comments.
I told Michael Smith about it. I sent him the picture that I made.
Yeah.
Right, I said I was gonna wear a sandwich board outside the Kiesel booth next year at NAMM.
That is hilarious.
It's like hashtag justice for Jay Ham.
Yeah. Holding up picket signs and all that.
Man, that's crazy. Not to get on that tangent, but that's crazy what they were saying about the way it's lit, you know, in the photos, and they're actually trying to make a thing. Like, it's crazy.
Well, I didn't tell you the latest, but I haven't said it on here yet, so maybe I'll tell you off air.
Oh, great.
Well, I think that somebody who's really good at Photoshop should take this picture and turn it into a Kiesel guitar.
That's more pink than my guitar, man.
Actually,
Yeah,
it is.
that's what you wanted. You wanted that.
We might be doing them a favor.
Remember?
There it is.
Can you see that?
What is that?
Remember Die Hard 3?
3.
The sandwich?
Oh,
board?
yeah. It was like a racial comment in the middle of Brooklyn or something.
Yeah, we all
Yeah.
know. We all know.
I never saw that movie.
That was a good one. That was a good one, yeah.
Dude,
I
yeah.
don't know.
First one, then the third one. The second one was poop. But the first and third one, they were great, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Maybe I should water down the Pepto-Bismol, then we can use it.
Put a little orange in there, you know?
Yeah.
Orange. That'll Somebody else trolled the crap out of him. Who is it? Renus Pinkle. He got banned. See, Caleb, I told you. I said be prepared to get banned or blocked, man.
Oh, I'm sure I'll get banned.
I haven't got banned yet. Every time they put something up, I write down what color is it.
That's good.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe
That
they
doesn't
don't.
look pink to me.
Maybe they don't care.
You see what the dog paw wrote? He says, you guys give more Google juice to Kiesel than they pay for. Every mention works for them. When watching you guys' YouTube suggestions, to me, Kiesel vids next. It suggests, oh, sorry, YouTube suggests Kiesel vids.
I see algorithms.
Yeah,
The algorithms.
weird algorithms.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, whatever. I mean, you know.
They'll get it. They'll get there.
Yep.
Their comeuppance.
Pick them up and
Come up and exactly.
Weasel guitar. Start saying Weasel. We won't say Keith.
Oh, my God.
Oh, that is gold. Weasel guitar.
So we never say the K word again on this show. We'll just
Oh,
call it
we're talking about thumbs downs, and we got two Kiesels.
2 weasels.
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 2 weasels in the house. And there's 69 watching, and we got 31 thumbs up. So come on, smash that thumbs up button, guys.
Straturday Night Live.
John Harden says, I have a Strat pickguard loaded with EMGs that are new from the 80s or 90s. They were still in the box, $280. Got them for $150. Hell yeah, man.
That's cool.
Awesome, man.
I have a Strat pickguard loaded with Mexican Strat pickups. And that's all
It's
I know.
Gilmore's for that bad boy.
I know.
Wait, that's the one you're gonna are you gonna Frankenstein?
I'd like to make it into the 78.
Oh yeah.
I think it's got the potential.
Bobby the Brain Weasel.
Best manager ever in wrestling, Bobby the Brain Heenan. Man.
Brain,
He
yeah.
was awesome.
Who did he manage? It was was it
Who didn't he manage?
King Kong Bundy. Andre the Giant? Didn't he manage Andre the Giant?
Heel. It was Bobby the Brain. Yep.
I saw
Rick
saw
Rude?
Andre the Giant at Boston Garden.
Rick Rude. He managed Rick Rude.
Wow.
Wow.
Was he ever a wrestler himself?
I don't think so.
Probably not.
I know he wrestled.
Or probably a failed wrestler becomes the manager. Yeah.
I don't know. I know in a tag team match, when he was the manager, in the mid to late 80s.
Who was the referee that turned heel? Was it Danny Davis?
Yeah, Danny
Something like
Davis.
that.
Yep.
And and Jimmy Hart. Yeah, he wrestled with Jimmy Hart and those guys. I think I remember the '80s wrestling, man. That was my heyday for from '86 to 1990 or something. I followed it. Then I realized it was fake, and I said, "Forget it."
You didn't like wrestling, Johnny, back then?
I mean, I wouldn't watch it on my own time, but if I would go to friends' houses and they had it on, I'd watch it. You know.
Yeah.
WrestleMania 3, man. That was the
only time I watched it
isn't it?
is when remember MTV tried to force it on us with the whole Cyndi Lauper thing. That's the only time.
Yeah.
Mania 2, right? Or was it 1? Was it 1 or 2?
Oh yeah, that's right.
1 or 2, yeah.
Yeah.
With Mr. T.
Mm-hmm.
I think they had a boxing match in
Roddy Piper
against Roddy Piper. Piper's Pit.
I said Jimmy the Superfly Snuka.
Man, yeah.
I liked Roddy Piper.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was always a macho man guy.
It was great. Great and They Live. That was a great movie.
Superstar Billy Graham, Ed Danner says.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good night, Lynn.
Good night, Lynn.
Great to see you, Lynn, and we'll talk this week, definitely. Awesome.
Funny, you guys were talking about Larry Mitchell. I remember a few weeks ago when he did that video when he was waiting for a flight. You remember that one?
Mm-hmm.
And he was just jamming, you know, in his headphones and on his Facebook Live or whatever, and it was sick. And I remember writing, and he was smiling while I was playing, you know, and I was like, I'd smile too if I could play like that, because it was just like it was unbelievable. And he's just sitting there, you know, and there's like women talking behind him, you know, they have no idea what's going on.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's cool.
Like,
Yeah, I think out of every man on this planet, Larry Mitchell probably has my favorite smile. One of them.
Yeah. He's
You can see the joy
yes.
in his face when he plays guitar, and you can't fake that. You really
Oh, he just seems so happy, man.
Mm-hmm.
happy when he's playing.
Yeah. No.
It's pretty cool.
Renus Pinkel is bringing up some great memories of the Dave and Earl Hebner plastic surgery referee when Hogan, with $1 Million Man, and Hogan lifted his shoulder up against Andre, and they 3-pinned him, or 1-2-3 pinned him anyway, and then the twin, you know, the referees got in. How much for the plastic surgery?
Wasn't that like a Saturday night's main event or something?
Yes,
yeah.
it was.
Man,
I remember when I watched that. I was at my cousin's house in New Jersey. We were watching it live, man. Or maybe it wasn't live, but whatever it was. But it was like everybody was talking about that, man. It was how much for the plastic surgery? You saw the $100 bills hanging out.
That was such a shock. I mean, Hogan, that was, he lost the title on in like you know, such an odd fashion. You know, that was
right after that was over. Andre, you couldn't understand what the hell he was saying.
Yeah,
I give the title to the Ted DiBiase's. And DiBiase's the champion.
It's all coming back. Yeah,
we're gonna have to check with the distinguished president.
And then it went to SummerSlam, and it was the belt was up for SummerSlam, and that was like the first SummerSlam, I think, where they had the tournament for the belt. You remember that? I don't know.
Yeah, they had to check. We had to check the ruling with JJ, or not JJ Dillon, the distinguished president Jack Tunney, to see if somebody, Jesse the Body was talking about it.
Oh
we
my God!
Check the ruling on that. If somebody could just give the belt to somebody else.
Man.
God, those days, man. All right, back to guitars.
Yeah, sorry.
We haven't talked about guitars for an hour.
Hey, Zach Thumb.
Zach.
I guess in my old guitar worlds, I think I showed this a couple weeks ago, Spinal Tap.
Oh, look at that, man.
The cover of Guitar World.
The reunion. What year was that one?
Was it 92? Yeah, April 92.
That's the 92 one? Oh, when they're what was the album called?
Freddie Mercury. And I think at the same time they played the Ultimate Reunion, and they did the Freddie Mercury concert.
What year did the movie come out?
What?
82 maybe?
What?
The Spinal Tap movie. What this is Spinal Tap. When did that come out?
I think it was filmed in 82, but it came out in 84.
Well, let's just see. I'm sure it's
I didn't see it until 1989 or 90. That's when I saw it.
March 2nd, 1984.
Oh, wow.
84 it came out. Okay, but it was filmed like in 82, 81, 82, somewhere. I remember that.
Derek, what is it? Derek St. Hubbins or Derek?
Yeah.
With the big bottom.
He wrote this.
BC Rich right there, double neck bass, man.
I was watching a video with him actually last night. He performed in LA at some benefit. He got up and they did a
That's Harry Shearer. Is that
but he was in character.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It only made $4.7 million in the U.S.
Well, back then, wasn't that? Was that big money?
I think it was one of those things that when it became a cult classic.
Yeah,
cult, yeah.
Exactly.
It cost like $3 million to make. So they made bank on that.
They made some coin, but still, it's obviously is such a cult classic now. But that's what it hit.
Well, I don't think I became as like such a big fan of it until, probably like early 2000s, man. It took me a while to I remember watching it when it came on like HBO or something when I lived in Illinois. And I saw the part when they're playing in front of that like empty amphitheater,
Yep.
Yeah.
Magic
I remember I was, how old was I?
Magic Show and Spinal Tap.
Yeah.
Puppet show. Puppet show.
Yeah, right. I was like 7 or 8 years old. I had no idea what the hell it was.
And that's when they were a jazz. They were doing like a jazz, like space opera.
Amusement park.
I was a huge fan of that movie from when I first saw the thing in '89 or '90 on VHS. I remember ordering or buying the cassette, the soundtrack,
mm-hmm.
where you have all those songs.
Yeah,
and they were a real band too. I mean, I think they all recorded their own stuff, and
they actually play.
They used studio musicians or anything.
They're all actual musicians.
Yep, they're good.
And actually, the keyboard player lives actually somewhere around here.
In the chicken.
Yeah.
One of the best things I think, one of the best scenes in that movie is it goes to 11. Why?
Alls go to 11.
It's so.
There's like 97 good laughs in that movie.
Yeah.
And there's a whole, if you got the DVD, there's a whole like second movie of outtakes.
Yep.
It's like another 2 hours of outtakes that they have. Were really cool.
Yeah, and Brian Landreth, you're right. People didn't get it at first. You're 100% right, man. One of my favorite parts of that movie is after the mini Stonehenge thing. Name goes, can I ask a question at this point? Sure. Are we going to do Stonehenge tomorrow night? No, we're not going to fucking do Stonehenge. That's probably my favorite line of the whole movie. And a quick little thing. Jeannie went to school for whatever, but she went to school for a semester or two for like music industry, I think. I should probably know this. Don't tell her I don't know what the hell she did. But anyway, they showed that movie in class one day, in her music industry class. And when that part came on, nobody in the class laughed at it. And she couldn't believe it. She's like,
right,
freaking funny. And nobody laughed. And I'm like, that's come on.
Do it in doubly.
Doing double.
She was the only one there laughed her ass off, right?
Mm-hmm. I told you guys that there was an interview with Edward Van Halen where when he went and saw that movie in the theater, everybody was laughing around him, and he didn't think the movie was funny at all.
I think every rock star has their own commentary on Spinal Tap.
Edward has a different sense of humor.
Yeah. It's fun at the industry. I mean, it's genius, I think. I think it's fun as shit.
It's one of those movies that, like, maybe the first time I saw it when I was older, it was like, what the hell? Is this real? Is this fake? And then, but every time you watch it, it's one of those movies that gets funnier every time you see it.
Mm-hmm.
Because you appreciate what it is as you watch it over and over again.
Mm-hmm. Especially if you watch it with other musicians that have lived some of that life, that have toured or been in any of those kind of situations where you show up to an event and nobody's there. You know,
Those were the bands that I worked with for the whole time I was doing stage crew. Is the bands that were either on their way up or on their way down. Like a lot of the Spinal. I mean, we had Winger, we had Vince Neil, we had Slaughter. All those in the mid '90s, all those bands that were huge in the late '80s, early '90s were now playing clubs, and they all came. Skid Row came through there. I mean, God, all the Winger, Warrant. White Snake, all of them.
That thing came out like in the fall of '84, I think, and I just started playing, and I remember seeing that Big Bottom song where they're all playing bass, and I just couldn't stop crying. I thought it was the funniest thing I'd ever seen. Three guys playing bass on stage.
It's just the idea.
Mud flaps, my girl's got them.
The idea of that, like, hey, we have a song where all play bass and we're going to call it Big Bottom. Like, that's genius comedy.
On bass keyboards.
I remember there was a review. Actually, we can talk about this too. Well, it was today. Was it Billboard put this out on Twitter, and then Wolfgang retweeted it? He had a comment about it. I think it was Billboard or something. They said on this date back in 1991, Wolfgang Van Halen released For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge.
Right, they got the address wrong.
And Wolfgang's like, yeah, I wasn't even born yet, and I was working hard on this record. Did you guys see that?
Yes.
No, that's funny. That's a mistake. Yeah.
But speaking about Carnal Knowledge, though, I remember there was a review way back in the day, and in '91 I was a huge fan of Spinal Tap, and I remember in the review saying they're reading off the track list, and they're like the song "Spanked" is almost like a Big Bottom Spinal Tap tune, and I was one of the only ones that got what they were saying because of the bass thing,
Totally. Yeah. That's good. Renus Pinkel, that the Lick My Love Pump is that's maps too.
What's that piece called? Lick My Love. He's chewing the
D minor.
Lick My Love Pump.
Saddest of all keys.
So good.
Man. Yeah. I saw them when they came to Oakland in about 10 years ago. Harry Shearer and Christopher Guest and Michael McKeon came to town. They were touring under the name Unwigged.
Really?
And it was just the three of them playing acoustic guitars on stage, but they played Spinal Tap. They played all the songs from all those movies.
From the movies, yeah.
From A Mighty Wind.
That's
all that stuff.
That's cool.
And they actually showed, they had a huge screen behind them, and they actually showed like their performance on Saturday Night Live, like way back, even before their movie came out.
Before they were even Spinal Tap, weren't they? They didn't even have the name, but
I think they were Spinal Tap, but it was before the film was out. Like they were a thing before they made the movie. They were.
It was the only good thing to come out of SNL in the early '80s.
The early '80s, what?
What else was the early '80s and SNL? That was when Lorne Michaels had left, and it was becoming crap. Eddie Murphy, and
that was a weird time, man.
Well, the mid to late '80s was awesome.
Well, yeah, I mean, once Phil Hartman and Dana Carvey and Mike Myers and them joined,
but what John's talking about though is there's a period of Saturday Night Live. There's like a season or two where it's just like really bad.
Yeah,
like
they were actually going to cancel the show.
Yeah, it was when Robert Downey Jr. and Anthony Michael Hall were on the show.
Well, that's when they started turning around. They were only in for like one season in like '85, I think, '86, and that was when Phil Hartman also started too, I think.
Phil Hartman was awesome. He was
great.
But it was like, who were the players at that point?
Yeah.
In the earliest
John Biel,
Terry Sweeney, and
look that up.
Was it Terry? Not Terry Sweeney. There was
No, you can't
Joe
even name
Joe Piscopo.
Oh, Joe Piscopo, Julie Louis Dreyfus.
That's right. Yeah.
Was there at the time
Mhm.
or right before it?
That's right. She was in it too. Forgot about that.
Eddie Murphy is the one that really turned that whole show around.
Yeah.
With,
It was
with
Joe
Mr.
Joe Piscopo
Robinson's
and Eddie
Neighborhood
Murphy.
and
Yeah.
Gumby and all that. Who was the guy? The guy that dropped the F-bomb at the end of the show. Do you guys remember that episode? The guy was sitting in a wheelchair and he said the F-bomb or something. Yeah, Brad Hall was on there. That's right, Crowbar. Yeah, and he's married to Julie Louis
Tim
Dreyfus.
Kazurinsky. Yeah. Tim
Yeah.
Kazurinsky. It was
Yeah, the
famous
dude-
from the Police Academy movies.
Dude with the glasses. Yeah.
Yep. What's
Yeah,
it?
Charles
Sweet
Rocket.
Chuck? Sweet Chuck.
Sweet
That was-
Chuck.
That was Charles Rocket that dropped the F-bomb. Yeah.
Sweet Chuck.
I think that was Tim Kazurinsky. Sweet Chuck.
My Girl Wants to Party All the Time. What a great song.
Eddie Murphy.
God. That's on my 80s playlist.
The video.
Yeah.
Video.
Wow. Who produced that? Wasn't that was it Michael Jackson or Rick James? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I just pulled up the Saturday Night Live. The all the people that are on that show, the cast. It's a who's who of stars. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, go back to 1980, 81.
Mhm.
Or no, 80. What years would have been?
Yeah, it was
81,
like-
81, 82.
Yeah, because I
Go
think
back to
80,
those years.
80 still had like Gilda Radner and some of them in the 80, and Bill Murray I think was in the 80.
Oh,
yeah.
because Blues Brothers was
Mhm.
80.
And
So-
John Belushi may have been his last year or 79 maybe.
Mm.
Well, who still watches SNL? Does anybody?
I haven't seen it in years.
I
No.
catch it once in a while. Still, there's still a lot of funny bits. I mean,
Yeah, I watch it every now and then. It's okay. I'm gonna read. Okay, here you go. Ready? This is 82 to 83. Robin Duke. Anybody know her?
Yeah, she yeah, I remember.
Okay.
I recognize the names. I mean, these guys, these things were on repeats from VH1 and Comedy Central
Yeah.
for years.
You got
That's
Mary.
where I know them from.
Mary Gross.
Gross.
Glenn Howell. Gary Kroger. Eddie Murphy. Joe Piscopo. Julia Louis Dreyfus.
What
Tim-
year was this?
This is 82 to 83.
Jan Hooks, right?
I think she was after that.
Yeah.
She was like around the Phil Hartman time, 85, 86.
She was like
maybe.
86, 87.
Oh,
Let's see if we can get the years everybody joined. I would say Phil Hartman joined 85.
All right, I'm gonna go get another drink while you guys are
Yeah,
talking about this.
yeah, me too. But
I'm like clueless with this stuff.
Phil Hartman, I would say, was probably 87.
Jim Belushi came in from 83 to 84. We'll give you the new people.
Jim did?
Jim.
Yeah.
Yeah, the brother.
Jim, yep. Then Eddie Murphy's still on, Joe Piscopo. Okay. I didn't realize that Eddie Murphy was there during the really dark times. I mean, because they literally
He was only there for like 2 years, wasn't it? 2 or 3 years. Let's see.
Mhm.
I don't know.
He was 19.
He was there, but then he came up with those characters, and then he did
He took off in the movie.
he did Beverly Hills Cop, and that's really what turned that whole show around, was having Eddie Murphy after that.
Mhm.
having
You
a
know?
big movie.
Paul Schaefer was
85 had
the
Billy Crystal jumped in.
Trading Places before that was his first big movie. So Trading Places with Aykroyd.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that was always one of my favorites. That one.
Yeah, that was a really good movie.
Really great.
And Jamie Lee Curtis is in that too.
Oh, she is one of the best rack shots ever.
Yeah. Wow.
And then we just looped around to Christopher Guest. Doop.
Whoa.
That's right, Christopher Guest.
They're married
Mhm.
still.
Wow. And he was on Saturday Night Live.
Oh yeah.
He was on there during those years. Christopher
Thank you,
Guest.
Remember they did like the elevator operators with or fixers with Billy Crystal.
They did a
Oh.
bunch of different stuff. They were like security guys.
Smash.
They were- Yeah.
They would just one up each other every time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. kind of like Nesdal and
Yeah.
everybody else.
Yeah.
Wow.
Everybody in the chat room, I'm just curious, who's your favorite actor to have appeared on Saturday Night Live? I mean, who? Why do
I think Will Ferrell's probably my favorite. Will Ferrell and
Farley. I think Farley is the funniest.
Farley, yeah.
Wow.
Bill Murray from Crowbar?
Bill Murray. I mean, yeah, there's so many of them.
Oh.
Jeez, Phil Hartman.
Chevy Chase.
Belushi. Which one dropped? You got Belushi. Which one? Bill Murray by a mile. Will Ferrell.
I heard that Chevy Chase and Bill Murray hated each other.
Did they really?
Yeah.
On Caddyshack, I know that was kind of the
Chevy
rumor.
Chase
Yeah, they didn't get along.
He was only on for the first couple seasons. And
Yeah, he was. He was
First two, I think. Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
it was only 2 years. Yeah. Dog Paw says Chevy Chase, Mike Taylor, David Spade.
Well, let's bring our Canadian friends in. And what about SCTV? Anybody remember that?
Oh, John
Oh,
Candy.
Second City TV.
John Candy. What was his name on there? Johnny LaRue.
That sounds
was it
that
Johnny
sounds familiar.
LaRue?
Yeah,
Second City Television, right?
with who was the other guy? The brothers there. The
guy that plays
Strange Brew.
Rick
Oh,
Moranis,
Rick Moranis. Yeah, Rick Moranis.
and Dave Thomas.
Thomas.
Yeah. Dave Thomas.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Man, late night 80s TV.
That album was so
Rick
fun.
Moranis.
I wore that album out.
Yeah.
Rob and Doug. Oh,
I hate to say it, but that's the only Geddy Lee thing I've ever liked was him on that song.
take off.
And yeah.
Take
Yeah.
Off?
The Great White
Yeah.
North.
Yep.
You know,
Oh, yeah,
you know
Martin
we'll see you at NAMM next
Martin
year.
Short. Can't forget
Trouble.
Martin Short.
You know that, right?
Thank you, Comedy Central, for rebroadcasting all that stuff in the early days. In Hot,
days?
anybody remember the Hot channel before it was Comedy Central? It was called Hot for a year or so.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, and they would play all the reruns of what else? The some of like what was it? Benson and stuff like that. I mean, they were really strapped for stuff to play in those early days. Soap. Remember the Billy Crystal show Soap?
Mm-hmm.
That show was hilarious.
Man.
So funny as shit, man.
And then the Young Ones. Remember the Young Ones? Another one.
Yeah.
Great British comedy.
I used to watch that MTV
Oh,
on Sunday
God.
night.
Oh,
The Young Ones, and then there was a show after that.
now we know how old Johnny is.
Absolutely Fabulous.
Yeah.
Another one.
I was 6.
Oh, that's great with the two girls, right?
And the best.
No, not that one. There was the Young Ones. Who remembers this? During what years was this? The late 80s. There was the Young Ones on MTV Sunday nights, and then there was a show after that, which was another British show, and it had some of the same people, and they actually did an episode that was kind of like a Spinal Tap episode.
Really?
And it had some of the guys from the Young Ones playing a band.
Well, the Young Ones always had a musical guest.
And it was a takeoff. I think it was a spoof on Spinal Tap. Because I think it came out around that same time. Although the Young Ones was earlier. The Young Ones was late 70s.
Yeah, like 1980 it's late 70s and 1980 or so.
Yeah. Man, that show was awesome, man.
12 episodes. I when I discovered that was like, I had to track down the VHS copy. Friends of mine had some VHS of all the whole 12 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
There were only
Man.
12 episodes of the Young
I
Ones?
think maybe 11. I mean, maybe like 13 or something. They had like one
Are you sure?
a pilot and then 12 episodes. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, go look it up.
Wow. I would think I'd seen a million of those.
Right?
I can almost guarantee it was 12 or 13 episodes.
Remember the one when Neil kept popping up? Did he kept dying? Or
Well,
what
they
happened?
had I remember the bands that they had on there. They had Motorhead was on there. They had
Motorhead was on there?
Motorhead did Ace of Spades.
Yeah, the bands would play in their living room. Like
Yep.
they would walk into their living room. They're like, "Oh, and here so and so's playing." It'd be Motorhead.
like Thomas Dolby, like
It'd be
Thomas
all
Dolby
these
and some of those guys,
named
yeah.
bands. Actually, Stuart Copeland actually was in a band that played.
Is that right?
Room.
Nice. Yeah.
Wow.
What else?
Man, I think we have a lot of good stuff to throw in the Discord, man. For a lot
I
of you
gotta
guys
go back and watch
who
some of
haven't
that.
heard or haven't seen the young ones or any of that, we got to throw a lot of stuff in there because that's a lot of great stuff.
Benny Hill.
Benny Hill, classic.
Oh man,
Well, yo,
Well, Monty Python. I mean, if you want to talk British comedy, come on.
Monty Python, yeah.
I just have to say this is a Saturday night late show, and we just had 70 people watching this thing.
Awesome.
Hey, man.
Crazy, right?
People with no lives, like us.
Like, yeah.
wow. Well, yeah, we appreciate all you guys that are watching and listening,
absolutely.
and listening to the podcast.
Wait, what's
Caleb, what's up with that strobe light in the background?
Oh, it's my fan.
Oh, okay. Now I see it. I just noticed it. It kind of caught me out of the corner of the eye, and I saw that strobe going. No, it doesn't. But it's cool. Whatever.
You're not
I got
epileptic or anything, are you?
No, I don't. I'm
Okay.
all good. It's all good.
Mhm.
No seizures here.
I don't want to cause anything.
Caleb, did you feel any of the earthquakes?
I felt the first one on the 4th of July, was it?
Yeah.
6.4, and then I was driving during the second one. So but apparently that one was bigger and longer, and like real long, like scary long, and
Yeah, that was like a 7.2 or whatever.
and people, a lot of people talking about that one. So I'm glad I missed it, but my kid had to go through it. So,
Wow.
but he wasn't that scared actually. He was like, they're like down next to the bed, and it stops, and he goes, well, if the wall's not going to come down, then I'd like to get back in bed with my cozy.
How long does it last? How long do they last out there? I mean, like a minute or two?
It usually lasts like 20 to 30 seconds, and I think that one yesterday was like a minute and a half.
Wow.
And it wasn't like a jolting; it was like a rolling, so it just kept going, and that's going to be closer to the big one. Like the big one, they say will be just a roller that
slow and
that
powerful,
for like 5 minutes.
Wow.
And much, I mean, I don't know.
Do they practice that in their schools around there? I mean, I know. I mean, it's kind of the California thing.
Yeah.
Get under your desk. I don't know. It's pretty.
There's a national day at a certain day, certain time where everybody is urged to practice.
They do drills and stuff.
There's a national drill. Well, national out here.
But,
yeah.
It's been a while since we had like a nice sizable one, and that one, although it was 7.1, was still like 200 miles away, and so we didn't feel it. There wasn't a lot of damage. There was no damage here, so it really doesn't count. Like the 94 quake here was ridiculous, and plus it was at 4:30 in the morning, so everybody was in bed. And that thing was going, and I was just like, man, people are dying right now. That's all I could think. People are dying right now. So it was frightening. But, there's like, you get paralyzed, you don't know what to do. And all you're thinking is it getting bigger? What's that?
I thought it was 91. 90? What was the World Series one?
That was the World Series one. It was like 89. Yeah.
That was by Johnny.
That was
Loma
up here.
Prieta. Loma Prieta.
That was up here. That one.
Yeah,
There was a big one in 94 too.
That was down here. In 94, it was the Northridge quake. But everywhere in Los Angeles there was a lot of damage, and
What time did that happen? Wasn't that like early in the morning?
4:30 in the morning. Yeah.
Yeah, they said, and I mean, a lot of people died, but they said that it kind of was, if you want to look at a silver lining, that didn't happen during rush hour, when everybody would be out. Yeah.
Because there was like a lot of freeway collapse. There's a lot of collapse. And,
yeah.
Well, it's only a matter of time before the San Andreas fault. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Arizona Bay.
I hope it makes a fart noise. And that's it.
Well, you got that. There's also a massive fault outside of in the Pacific, when that goes, they're saying Seattle's going to be gone.
It's the Ring of Fire.
Tsunami, you know. And
Yeah.
then where I'm at, up in Colorado here, up in Montana, there's a active super volcano that when that goes, you know.
Well, Yellowstone is
Yellowstone. That's what there's. Yellowstone's the biggest.
biggest super volcano on Earth. So
Yeah. When that, exactly. When that goes,
the planet goes.
yeah.
We're here for a short time, folks. Enjoy it.
So enjoy it. Have some fun.
Yeah.
Welcome to Guitar Chat. We're
So
talking.
let's talk about guitars and gear.
Let's get back to Weasel guitars.
Oh, man. If we don't blow ourselves up, the planet will do away with us.
Yeah, that's a good. That's a perfect line. Actually, we don't kill ourselves, the planet will.
We're all fleas, man. This dog
It'll
is
be here long after we're gone, and
tired. This
been
dog
here
is
long
tired
before.
of us.
Yep. So enjoy life and be good to each other. What's it about?
That's right. Yep.
Yep. Don't weasel somebody else.
And if you do something, if you paint something, paint it the right color.
Exactly. For God's sake.
For the love of God, please.
Nobody wants salmon.
Nobody wants salmon.
Nobody.
Oh God.
I mean, they make faces in restaurants when people order salmon.
Yeah.
He ordered the salmon.
So how about this? Quick question to everybody in the chat room. Anybody have any new gear?
Ooh, that's a good question. I like that.
Can I go first?
No.
Yes, you can.
Right there.
Yeah.
Thank you, Michael Smith. Thank you,
Michael, my birthday's coming up in September.
Well, let me know.
The big 5-0.
Ooh, big one.
Really, the big 50.
Yeah.
Same as Johnny.
Mm-hmm.
Johnny's 20. What do you say? You're 29?
I'm 29.
Yeah. My mom, God rest her soul, every year. I'm 21. Stop that. That's what she used to say to me. So, but yeah. Okay, what gear we got going on here?
I'll have new gear next week.
Something you're building, I'm guessing.
Venus Pinkel has a Boss OD1.
Sean Zimmerman says that I got 15. I got 8 days to get him something. His birthday's on the 15th.
Their Search Chicken just got a new Jackson JS34Q. I don't know if is that a real guitar or.
Right on, John. 65. Nice.
God bless you. Hell yeah.
Drop says my Ibanez still has 20-year-old strings on it.
Yeah.
And Krellbar got a new fleshlight. That's awesome.
Sweet. I don't know if everyone wants to share, but if you guys, that'd be great to just see how old people are or what age they are. So if you want to put your age in the chat, that'd be awesome. Just so we get an idea of like what kind of cross section
Can we make that fun? Can we make that fun?
Brett McCord, what do you think?
Put your age and then your mental age.
I just pulled up, Jay, that the JS 34Q is a guitar from Jackson. I'm looking at it right now.
All right. What's the Q stand for? Quilt top?
Hold on, we have a drummer in here. Vistalite, 1972. We're assuming you're born in 1972. He just had a DW 5000 pedal and a PDP snare stand. Dude, the 5000 pedal is awesome.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
John Harden's.
Look at this. This is cool.
Jesus.
Right on.
Awesome, man. Look at all this.
A lot of people in that 48 to 52 range.
Yeah.
Which means you were like, 12 or 13 when Van Halen was the shit.
Thomas Santiago, 61. Cool.
Are you really 15, Sir Chicken?
It's your chicken. Yeah. Past your bedtime.
Yeah, I would probably say my mental age is around 15. 15, 16.
15 for life.
Yeah. Old walls now, though, you know.
Cool.
And Dr. Jimmy, yes, man. Farts are still funny.
Farts.
Happy birthday, Brick Breaker.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna slowly start taking my Strat apart.
Yes, do it, man.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Don't do it
You guys-
slowly.
Well,
Dude,
you guys continue. I'm not gonna
Come
make
on.
a big deal out of it, but
John, do you think Ed took his stuff apart slowly back then? No.
well, I got a drill, so I got power.
There you go.
Like I said, I got the springs and strings off. So
Yeah, so yeah.
where should I go next? Trem, neck, pick guard, tuners.
Take the neck off, man.
All right, let's take the neck off. Get
Yeah,
the fender
let's see
plate.
it. Johnny. Oh, Johnny's not there.
Get the fender plate. Four screw. Skunk stripe neck.
Skunk stripe.
I don't know if it's rosewood or what kind of a. It's.
So wait, you're gonna make a Frankenstein with
I'd like to. No, I'm not going to use this neck, but I'll use the body as a 78
he did have
template.
He did have a rosewood fingerboard on there a couple times. So.
Did he? On the 78?
Right before he painted it. Right before he painted it red, there was a rosewood neck on it.
Well, I can keep it on at some point.
And then he
You were saying?
Screw.
then he put that rude neck with that looked like the Dan Electro neck with the extra little wings on it.
Well, Caleb, while I'm doing this, go through the history. Let's hear what we from. It was originally people speculate as to what the original body was, boogie bodies, or what was it?
No, he's told the story. It was Boogie Bodies. He went out to Boogie Bodies, and they had a stack of bodies on the floor they were called seconds.
Mm-hmm.
And he thought
They were next to get painted, right?
they were second in line, but they were actually had a knot in the wood or something, that they were just sort of not the ones that people wanted.
Like the B stock or something.
So he bought that for $50. He bought the neck for $80, and that's their greatest, most iconic guitar in the world history. So.
Yeah, it cost $130. The most iconic guitar.
And we were having that debate last week, and I believe, I would say.
Yeah, the wood.
Here's the neck. I don't know what the G means, but it's like a piece of lined paper with a G on it.
What?
Let's see. Let's take it's got numbered 1 through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1 through 7, and it's got a G on it.
I think the G stands for David Gilmour, and that's one of his guitars.
I'm going to see if I can peel this off.
You can sell that for $500,000 right now.
Yeah. I'm not going to peel it off because it's kind of glued on there.
Good night, John Baldwell.
But it does have something under the G.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's a shim on there.
It's all. I mean, yeah. I've never. I don't know if I've ever taken this off.
The G.
Here's the neck pocket.
Yeah.
Got a serial. No, what's it say? It does have a date on it.
It says, "Do not remove neck."
July. Looks like July '96. Let me take a
It
picture.
says replace. Put my neck back on. Fuck face.
Never remove this piece.
Do not remove from
Do
mattress.
not remove. Yeah, exactly.
Taken away.
Under penalty of law. It looks like 96. Let me take a picture and we can see it better.
Yeah, Carl Bob. It says peel it off. It says you won $1 million. Expires in 2018.
July 20 something 90.
Expires July 5th, 2019.
Yeah, exactly.
Looks like 90. It can't be 98. Maybe it is 98. I don't know. July something, 90 something.
11 Midnight says this guitar will defunct in 5 seconds.
So
what are you doing?
well, I'm gonna get it just onto the body, and at some point in the next couple of weeks, I'm gonna buy some spray paint. I'm gonna buy some sandpaper, and I'm gonna work on putting this into creating a 78 Frankie.
Well, you want
So-
the white one?
Hmm?
Obviously, you want the white one.
Yeah. I'll go with white. All right, so I got the neck off. I'll leave the tuner. I'll leave the tuners on for now.
Fret Level Midnight says this guitar will self-destruct in 5 seconds.
I do have a box that I'm putting everything in, so I don't lose everything.
Lucky and have like the swimming pool route there.
Well, that's what I'm curious about. What it has for a route. I'm going to take the jack plate off.
Otherwise, you're gonna have to.
Drop says time to drink your Pepto-Bismol.
Mm-hmm. That's actually a nice color.
Yeah,
that pink.
Mm-hmm.
A hell of a lot better than Jay's guitar turned out.
Mancuda would love a Pepto-Bismol. Pepto-Bismol.
Oh yeah, hell yeah, would.
Guitar.
It's a very soothing pink.
Yep.
Oh man.
Renus Pickle, take the jack off.
It's not like a weasel pink.
I'm jacking off right now. So.
After last night, I think John Beale already did. So.
If you haven't seen last night's show, go back and watch it.
Not right now, though.
At some point, it was a good one.
Wait a minute.
I mean, I'm not saying anything else other than that. It was an entertaining show.
You may be.
All those rewatches were all you?
What was it? 400? We're probably up to past 500
it's
now.
up to like 700.
Nice.
Or something. I don't know.
There's my jack off right there.
Oh.
Ew.
I'm going to take the trem off. Let's take the trem off. This is guitar surgery right here. Getting crazy. We got 6 bolts for this one, or 6. I'm gonna turn it down.
Are you gonna take the pickguard off?
Yeah, he's gonna.
Can we guess about the route if it's a swimming pool or you know?
I don't know myself.
It could be 3 different, 4 different. There could be 4 different options of what's.
There we go. What's the route gonna be?
We want to see what you're doing. Pick the guitar up, man.
In the chat.
Yeah.
What do you guys think the route is going to be under there?
Present.
Like Krellbar says HSH. It could be.
Present.
It could be SHS.
SHS. That would look weird.
Who's ever played that?
Yeah.
I think it's SSS.
All right, there's the 6 trem bolts.
We got to present.
That's right. This is it was originally a Mexican stock, but I did get an American tremolo at some point.
Wow.
I don't know what the difference is, if there is a difference, but
maybe a swimming pool then.
That's my guess. I think
you can tell by tapping on it.
Yeah, if you tap on the pick guard.
I don't know. It feels solid. It feels pretty solid. Here's the trem. The fender.
Let's see the block on that thing.
It's got a.
Oh wow.
It's a pretty good sized block. I don't know. It's got a number on it.
Not that bad.
Yeah, look
It's
at
not
that.
stamped. It's not stamped, but it's an American Strat, like a vintage American tremolo.
Yeah, well, I mean, the size can be big, but the material could be.
Yeah, but it's better than some of the ones that come with a little tiny piece of crap.
There's the open cavity.
Yeah, the block is big, but it's hollow.
All right. Let's take the pick guard off.
Okay, my guess.
Let's see it.
Actually, I got to cut the jack thing off right now. I got to jack the jack off.
Jack it real quick.
Got to take the jack off.
Man, I hope nobody takes all these sound bites and. There's a lot of sound bites here tonight.
Oh, Johnny, Dave was pissed that John Beale took the sound bites.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm not playing them again. So
dude, you can play.
You lost, man. Oh well. I guess I'm not gonna hear them.
Johnny, I don't care. I think it's fun.
we don't care. We don't care. But yeah, Dave was mad.
You could sample the fuck out of me. I think it's hilarious.
Anything I say on here, you guys, you can take any sound clip you want. That's why I'm, if I say it,
internet, dude. Anybody,
shit, man.
Hey, I want to ask the kid, the Sir Chicken kid, like, when are you coming to LA? What day?
Huh?
I got a gig coming up. He's saying like I'll be in LA in a couple weeks. So.
Cool.
What's your next gig, man?
And it's all ages.
Yeah, you just put that up not too long ago. When is it again?
The 5th. So,
Nice.
July? Well, we missed it.
no.
A month from yesterday.
A month from yesterday. Which goes
Where's it at?
very quickly.
Where's it at?
Yeah.
It's at the Whiskey.
Okay.
It's at the,
Put it out there. Let everybody know, man.
yeah, the Whiskey on August 5th. Nerd Halen will be opening for 80s night, where 2 really great 80s bands play. One's called Rubik's Cube LA, and one's called Fast Times. And they're really quality bands. In fact, Rubik's Cube is hilarious. They have a girl and a guy singer, and all they do is switch songs, and so they come back as different characters of the song they're singing.
Mm-hmm.
So like he'll be Dee Snider, and then he'll be Freddie Mercury, and then he'll be Ozzy, and she'll be like Tony Basil, and then Tina Turner. It just keeps going on and on. So it's hilarious.
Is that the same Rubik's Cube? Do they have a East Coast version as well?
That's the original one, and what's the guy who's in the band in Los Angeles is Paulie Z, the guy who runs the Ultimate Jam night, and his brother David Z, who passed away a couple of years ago in an accident.
Mm-hmm. I remember that.
He was in the New York one, so
okay, and the New York one, Rubik's Cube, has what?
Fast
How
Times.
was that?
that's fine.
You go to Van Halen tickets.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, you're gonna get flagged for this?
We might.
Nah, you're good.
Can't do anything.
it's
No
just
more,
Johnny.
no more sound bites. No more.
It's just Johnny. It doesn't matter. Let Johnny
more
get all
sound
the,
bites.
let Johnny get all the skull faces.
Skull.
No, the East Coast Rubik's Cube had Steve Brown from Trickster,
Yeah,
the guitar player.
yeah. So it'll be a good night. So we go first. It'll be, we got like 45 minutes at 8:15. So
Well, Johnny, you do realize that pretty soon, I'd say within the next year, in order for Caleb to come on here, you're going to have to contact his agent.
stop.
Mm-hmm. Which will be him.
Nerd Hand, come on the stage.
Hey, Caleb, can I talk to you about maybe talking to you?
Yeah, Caleb, can I talk to your agent about having you on the show tonight?
Yeah, let me ask. Get the mirror. And
Let me ask myself. No.
dude, that would be awesome, Jay. I hope so. But I'll come on all the time. Doesn't matter.
That would be killer, though. Think about that, right? I need to get in touch with Caleb. I have to go through the agent.
No, man. No.
Hell yeah.
Well, hey, Johnny, would you be interested in maybe, and obviously this question's for Caleb as well, but what about doing something where one of the shows coming up or something, like Caleb sets his phone up and, have the show live on the channel, man?
Oh, we might get flagged.
Oh, that's right. I was thinking like maybe on the side of the stage or something, like from your amp, just having it,
Just play really bad, and it won't get flagged.
Oh, a show? No, actually, that'd be fine.
It would.
That'd be fine.
Yeah, if you're going live, you see all the time on Facebook, people showing tribute bands, they never get flagged, so why wouldn't that work, right?
Yeah, it's true.
A friend of mine just earlier tonight that was broadcasting something, and it was copies, and they sounded good.
Yeah, the only reason I haven't gone live so far is just because I don't want it to suck.
Well, it doesn't suck. You don't have to worry about it.
Yeah,
What?
you're not. Believe me, you're not gonna suck. So.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying. I just don't want.
Does anybody know? Was there any footage or any live thing at all from the thing that Rob and Dave were at tonight?
Yes, Rob posted some on his Insta.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, I saw that.
Yeah, have you heard?
that.
Have you heard? Got a text from them or anything?
I got text from Rob early this morning.
Love to see what Rob's up to.
Just telling me that he was just now leaving to go to Dave's and he felt like crap and
Little under the weather.
Really?
uh-huh.
Sir Chicken, I don't know. That's a crazy question. I think rock and roll is still here. Look at us. So, you know, I mean,
Well, I think it's kind of as far as like pop culture type of thing, where when we were kids, rock and roll was, you know, the number one thing. And when
Johnny, you can stop. Am I still presented?
yeah, show a damn guitar, man.
You know, no, go ahead. This is we're talking about something relevant. We'll talk about it.
We thought you were waxing.
We're at this point. I want to in the chat. Tell me what kind of. I've already looked at the route. What kind of route do you think?
Everybody already commented, but it was like 15 minutes ago.
I said triple S.
You want me to? When do you want the reveal? You want the reveal now?
Right now.
I'm gonna say HSH.
I'm going
Hold
triple
out.
also.
I think, from what I could see, it looks like HS or HHS. It's not a swimming pool, which is cool. But
Oh, you got it.
yeah,
Wow.
Yeah.
We don't
it's so grounded.
Just yank it.
Let me cut the ground off.
Just pull it.
Just jack it like last night.
Just pull it a little.
Pull the shit out of it.
Oh my goodness.
Ow!
You're a violent bastard, aren't you?
That's right. There we go. A Homer Simpson pick guard.
Oh man.
I'll definitely keep this pick guard together.
Yeah, you can't let Homer go. Homer's got
Let
to
Homer go.
Yeah.
And it's a good three-ply pick guard, which is
John, can you slant the humbucker in the brick?
well, I don't have a humbucker available, but
No,
I think you could. No,
to lose that little piece there. You can
That's
do
all
that.
right.
Just grab it.
that guy's
I don't care. Whatever I got to do, I'll chisel the hell out of it.
Chisel like Ed did.
It's it's kind of slanted. It's not like a big slant
Yeah,
for real.
but this will work. This I think in the chat. Will this work for the 78, Frankie?
Yes.
I think this will.
Why
This is
wouldn't
a
it?
good start.
Yeah.
Well, so what's my next step, Caleb? You've been making a couple of tributes.
200 grit and just get all the gloss paint off it, just all the shine.
Mm-hmm.
Just scrape it so it's rough. And
And then
then
a coat of black,
And then
or a couple coats of black.
black. And a couple coats of black.
Couple coats of black.
Black.
What size? What kind of tape do I need?
Come on, you haven't done any of the research yet?
No, this is why This is for you guys. Tell me about it, man.
I think it's 3/4. And
Is it how many? I mean, for the 78, how many different sizes? There's at least 2, 1/4 inch,
well, there's 2,
half inch.
There's a couple of those ones on that come off the top, and they're like half inch, I think.
I highly
Who's got the picture of it?
call Nesdal tomorrow.
It's everywhere. John.
Call Nesdal right now.
Right now. Yeah, he'll love
Hold right now. I have a question for you about my guitar build.
it.
Which one of you does he not have as saved in his phone? That can call him right now.
I got to tell you something. And Johnny knows this because we were involved. But Johnny and me and Dave have a messenger thread, you know. And I think it was like 12:30 or something, 12:35. Johnny messaged me and Dave, and I messaged back, and Dave lost.
Oh, that was me telling you guys about it. I finally got the podcast going.
Yeah.
I'm like, guys, you won't believe it. There's gonna be a podcast. And
Dave was pissed.
after that, it was
Was he really?
Well,
Because
I don't wanna
John,
give
you reached out to
too
me
much.
to email you to see if it was working. The podcast.
Yeah, real quick, Krellbar, he's doing the black and white Frankie, not the red one, so he can hide those pictures.
Exactly. That's why I chose the black and white. And if you don't know, the neck screws are the same as the spring claw screws too. So they're the same screws.
Are you gonna do it complete on your own, John? Is this gonna be like?
I'd like to, yeah. I mean, this is my first kind of tribute. I built this. I mean, years ago, 10 years ago, I do know how to build a guitar, and this has been functioning well for 10 years, and I enjoy it.
Let me see that again. You built that?
Yeah.
Tell us about it, man. Come on.
Jeez, it's a mess right now. It's all kind of dirty and shit. But
Come on, man. Guitar.
it's a Jackson DK2 dinky body.
Yep.
Warmouth neck. Gatto locking tuners, which you obviously don't need on a Floyd, but I got the Gatto, the lockers.
Triple lock.
Europe, German Floyd. Triple locked, exactly. That's a triple lock system.
Triple lock, yeah.
Can't forget the Stormtrooper Hello Kitty.
Look at that.
That's where you
Okay. You got to pick. You got the back plate made out of a DVD cover right here.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Ooh.
That's the way to do it, man. If you want it.
What DVD was that?
Oh yeah, what DVD?
I have no idea.
Jenna Jameson is built.
Volume what?
Yeah,
exactly.
Hello Kitty DVD.
No, that was 7.
Seymour Duncans.
What Seymour Duncans are in there?
I don't know.
Oh come on!
I don't. I told you guys, I'm not a pickup guy. I don't.
Take it apart. Let's find out.
Not tonight. Not tonight.
Yeah, you got the drill.
But look at the dust under there. My God. But yeah, so I mean, I can handle it. I could build and I also built a couple of my own in high school. I built.
The one thing that I've said this before, John, but the one thing that I dig about that neck, the maple neck or maple fretboard with the black inlays, is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just wanted basic super strat, and I'm gonna build my first guitar. This is it. Build my first guitar, and I just went,
Yeah, but those inlays.
This was under $500. Under $500 for.
So are you gonna order a neck for the new one? This from
Warmouth is what I used in the past, but whatever financially works out, I'll use.
Try Musicraft
by
Musicraft.
Chris Locke, man.
And then get you got to get that headstock right though. It's that really wide Strat headstock.
Call Chris Locke. That's what I've heard.
This is the early sort of headstock, the classic headstock.
Yeah,
they had a CBS era headstock.
You got to get it.
What about
a little wider?
Tuners what kind of tuners did he have in the 78?
I'm sure they were crappy. So
yeah,
perfect. Sure they were crappy. There's my serial number if anyone wants to steal it.
They weren't those, but
yeah.
Like I said, this is not. I got this guitar free when I was working stage crew at the local venue that I worked at. An opening band left this for like a year, and we tried to contact them, and I've told this story 7 or 8 times. But if by chance you own this guitar, I will be happy to give it back to you. And well, I already showed the serial number, so. Oh well.
I just prove that's mine. So I
prove that it's yours, and contact me, and you can have it back. But this will soon be the black and white 78.
Put a Floyd on it?
No. I mean, it may be, but I from what I've heard from listening to Dave and everyone, it's really not advisable to change a regular trem to a Floyd. It's just too much work. But maybe down the line. I mean, the 78 never had a Floyd on it. I mean, or the black and white. The black and white
does. It does now.
The black and white never had a Floyd.
Dave's talking about like taking a nice Strat and putting a Floyd on it. I think is what he's talking about. So you can.
Well, I don't mind doing some routing if I have to.
Well,
that's not a problem.
You should take to a luthier.
Yeah, that's got to be exact. You got to know that.
Yeah, I don't want to do something like that myself. But the painting I can do. The painting.
But if it's something that you want to do all yourself, don't put a Floyd on it. But if it's
no, I don't. For now, once the goal for now is just to get it painted and striped, and then get a good neck for it. So
okay, I just gonna be tough to keep it in tune. Just letting you know. right about now.
We were talking about that last night. If as long as if you can set up a Fender tremolo and it can stay in tune. I mean, if you set it up properly, this was always a great, it would usually stay in tune as long as I didn't.
Until you took it apart tonight.
Until I took it apart, yeah.
As long as you don't use the tremolo, it'll stay in tune.
As long as you don't play it, it'll stay in.
Like Dave says, I mean, does it want to be a guitar? Now, does it want to be a Frankie? So, I mean, it's like, does it want to, if it makes it to that point, great. If it just looks cool, I've got other guitars I can play. So,
there you go. Okay.
I'm not.
Then
I'm not going to be touring with it. I'm not going to be, playing out with it. Or anything.
Yeah. What do you want out of it, right? At the
I would go on eBay and get like an $80.
I'm not going to be selling it either. I won't be selling it either.
I'd go on eBay and get an $80 neck though, without the Floyd route, and then you could save like a couple $100 if that's the case.
Well, what do you think? What kind of a neck? Just like a secondhand music craft, or?
No, I mean just like a Strat neck, with the headstock that's shaped like the Frankenstein one.
Yeah. 80, yeah, like an 80, yeah. I would think it's got to be a bird's eye maple all through. Did he have a skunk stripe on the original?
Yes.
Yeah. So basically, this without a.
You're halfway there.
Well,
no, the original
headstock.
The original neck didn't have a skunk stripe.
Oh, it didn't?
No.
Okay.
No, it was all bird's eye in the back.
All right.
So that's going to cost a little bit. That's where the cost is going to come.
That's going to cost you.
Yeah, for the bird's eye.
Everything else, I mean, paint, sandpaper. Where else is the cost in this? I have a pickup. I got to get a good single humbucker, tremolo. Pick guard.
It's a Pariah.
Yes.
Medina white.
Yep.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, when you build at this point, I'm halfway there. I mean, to be honest with you, I'm already halfway there.
It's going to cost you a couple of bucks. It's going to cost you just more time.
This was free.
The guitar is already halfway off.
Basically, it's going to cost me a pickup and a neck, and the rest of it,
pick guard.
Can come in a pick guard
and a tech to put it back together.
I have a good tech. I do have a good tech.
Well, John,
I can put it together, but a good tech can set it up properly.
Caleb's 100% right. If you're going to get a pickup for that thing, go with Pariah, man.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I'll take you guys' advice definitely, because I mean, I'm not a pickup guy, like I said. So,
and maybe have the pick guard made by Warmouth.
There you go.
Because they'll cut you a slanted humbucker.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Single ply.
Well, where's the picture? Mm-hmm. There's a good picture of this. Oh, actually, I have the
single ply black.
Yeah, Pariah pickups a killer.
Killer.
It's a picture of the 78.
Can you guys can hear me chewing, can you?
Yes.
This is you guys, everybody. Welcome to the Johnny Beane SM. What's the word?
AS. What is it?
ASMR channel of me snoring.
There's Caleb's
what's your name?
Project.
Did you see the picture I posted in the Discord?
I beat you. You just shot yourself.
I don't know who posted this, but there was a picture of where is it? We got to. Holy crap!
What are we talking about?
What are you talking about?
The picture I put in the Discord tonight. What was like an outtake from the Van Halen 2 album shoot.
Oh yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
I'd never seen that before.
Well, where are the outtakes? I think there's some in this book right here.
Didn't Zolzauer put it in his book?
Yeah. Oh, I don't have the book.
Oh,
I got it right here.
But yeah, it's cool because Eddie's playing the shark.
I see it.
Dust cover off.
You see that?
I was looking for pictures of the 78, but that's a nice picture.
So,
there's ton.
Hey, John, would you be at all interested in making a reverse 78?
Ooh.
In what respect? Just a reverse headstock?
No.
An 87?
Oh, a black and white instead of white, or white and black instead of black and
Yeah,
white.
you have the white pickguard.
87.
Have a black guitar with the white stripes.
You know who made one of those was Craig Stoffco. He made it like years and years ago. I remember seeing pictures of that.
I'd like to see a picture before I do it, before I think about it. But I think I'm gonna go traditional.
Reach out to Craig. He'll show you.
Van Halen at Day on the Green. Just with the 78.
There you go.
There's the Johnny Beane red pants right there.
That's it.
Oh,
And you got and Johnny.
Michael in.
Johnny, they're getting a little pinkish, man.
Yeah, like I say, it looks like a weasel picture.
They're kind of salmon-y.
Yeah, exactly.
Just I don't know if they have all those extra pictures in here. Here's some of the kind of
man that hurts.
Those are live shots.
here. Steve Anderson is online right now in the Discord.
Come on, Steve.
Steve,
let's see you, man.
somebody get Steve in here. Come on.
Been a long time.
Dude, come on.
Let me
Come
text.
on, man.
Jump in
Here's
for
the
a minute.
picture. Here's the picture.
We know you're watching.
Have you guys seen this? I've never seen this. Look at this. Think Van Halen 2 album cover or album insert.
Say something.
Look at that. Have you guys seen that?
I haven't.
I've never seen that.
That is fucking badass.
I mean, that is the Van Halen 2 photo.
Yeah, it looks like the first day before.
What do you call it?
Before Dave broke his foot.
And look what guitar he's playing. You know?
Yep.
That's cool. That's very cool. Yeah, if you guys want to see that, it's in the Discord.
I don't know if the Lozauer book has the breakdown of that. I thought they did. Here's a shot from that photo shoot. Here's right after Dave broke his foot. And the early natural cabinets. Yeah, that's pretty much all they got from that shoot, really.
Wow. That's a great picture, Johnny.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Hey, John, do we have the last date that Steve Anderson was on the show? Does anyone know that?
Yeah.
It was like last summer, wasn't it? Or
I
last
think the date was
October.
I think the date was it's been too long.
It's probably been like a year.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Because these shows, well, actually, they were Fridays. They weren't Saturdays. They were late night Friday. We used to do 2 shows on Fridays. We did the regular show, then we'd do a late night show during the same slot. We'd call it the Steve Anderson Power Hours.
The same
Late night with Steve Anderson.
Steve Anderson Unleashed.
Steve Anderson Unleashed.
Yeah.
Steve Anderson Unleashed. That was somebody in the chat came up with that. And then yeah, John Biel, we just kept doing them, and then eventually it's like, well, let's do it on Saturday instead and call it Straturday Night Live,
In the chat, John Harden says he just got a black pickguard with one humbucker from All Parts. I think that's how he tried to spell All Parts on eBay for $11.
There's a lot of places where you can get the little gear stuff. I mean, pick guards, tuners, and
you can always carve it yourself because you are going to put the pickup into the body, right?
I don't know. Is that the way is it directly drilled right into the body?
Of course, is
Pretty much.
We're
Yeah.
Van Halen. Of course it is.
Well, it's got to be attached to the pick guard too, though. So,
No,
I mean,
it doesn't.
No, it's just.
No.
Well, let me grab the picture.
It's not.
Couldn't find a great picture of it though.
The pickguard frames the pickup as it's screwed into the body. There's no.
It's funny. If you put like modern day back then, right? Eddie Van Halen would have, if he had Instagram and Facebook and all that stuff, there'd probably be footage of him doing all this to his guitar back then.
It's a great shot of the back of it.
Yep, and no skunk stripe. You're right, Johnny.
How much spring?
Mm-hmm.
3.
Well,
yeah, 3.
is there anybody watching these videos that owns the EVH GEAR 78? Because there's a book that came with that from what I've heard, the photos in that book came from photo albums that the Van Halens, that their mom collected back in the day, that they found. Yeah, that's Oakland right there.
Yeah, backstage.
I think.
Stay
Stay
on
on the green.
Probably.
Mm-hmm. And look at that guitar strap, man.
Oh, that must be painful. Oh, well, this one too is like a industrial type of. How can you see it? It's like a ratchet strap, you know?
Yeah.
Or seatbelt or something.
It's like a World War II something or other.
Yeah, right.
Guys, they actually find those. Like Devin, I think Devin Hull found one or something.
Hey, Johnny.
Mm-hmm.
You see Brett McCord's comment?
This is the best group of people in the stream and on the chat room. Great people, like family. Brett, thank you, man.
Thanks, Brett.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Here you go, John.
There it is. That's a good close up. Oh yeah, it's just a big hole in the pick guard that the pickup sticks out of.
Yeah.
And it's an 11 point pick guard too, which is crazy. Like as I was taking those screws off, 11 screws for that pick guard.
Hold on, go back to that, Caleb. Put that back up. Look at the looks like I cut that pick guard out.
Yeah, the janky.
Oh no, he cut it.
I know. That's what I mean. It's terrible, but it's awesome.
I'll do a better job than that.
No, don't do a better job.
It's weird.
This bass Mike is playing. Can anyone identify this bass? It's like a sunburst. It's like an Ampeg. Is it an Ampeg or something like that?
No, it's Mike's bass.
Yeah, it's Mike's bass.
Where have you guys ever on Mike's bass?
I have Mike's bass. I have no idea. Is that
do you guys still have your Mike's bass account?
Can you see it on the headstock at all?
Not really. It's the only picture I've seen of that one. Maybe a Rickenbacker or I'm not Rickenbacker, BC Rich or something. Anybody? I don't know.
That might be a Gibson something or other.
Gibson, actually, yeah, you might be right. Thank you, Caleb.
You're welcome.
Oh, dick pics coming through clear, huh? Thanks, Caleb.
Anyway. Yeah, I'll do the research and get the right pictures for, this is the first step. I figured if I disassembled it, I'd give me a little bit of an incentive to.
It's not very slanted. It's like
a
little bit.
I'll make it work with this route without a problem.
Yeah,
it could be a problem. There's plenty of room there. So.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
Johnny, fired up that amp.
I ruined my dust cover for Van Halen. As low as I
Oh
right.
My God, no!
That thing's been la.
I'm gonna have to do another video with that amp. Over Hangouts, it wouldn't sound good.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's true. Okay. Now watch. Caleb's gonna stop playing.
Awesome.
Where's the Bumblebee at, Caleb?
The Bumble Nerd.
Bumble Nerd.
It's
Humble Nerd. There you go.
Bumble Nerd is in Sam Ash in Hollywood.
Getting set up, getting
on display.
It's in the darkness.
Showcased
For sale.
I think it's closed, so it's just sitting there in a case.
You
That's a sad image right there.
You look so sad when you said that.
It really is.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
it's exciting though. It's days.
Yeah.
Which neck? What neck? What era neck? I mean, because it had two necks, 3 necks,
The
4
Bumblebee,
necks, 5 necks.
the Bumblebee had 2 necks. It had a black faced headstock one and a just 3 wooded one. And I'm
So
doing
you're gonna go for this version?
yeah, but I put a Charvel decal on it, decal on it.
That's right, Deckel.
Was that the one he had? No, he had Gibson on the 78, right?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the other headstock for the.
yeah, that's the.
What was that? Was that a Charvel headstock? That was the
Yeah.
Charvel headstock, right?
Yes, and then he didn't like Charvel right after that because they started selling those guitars striped, and he was like, "Screw you guys!" And then he sanded the Charvel off it, and then he put the black one on Frankenstein when he first painted Frankenstein red.
Now, what kind of yellow is that? Because I mean, in some pictures it looks orange, some pictures it looks yellow. It's kind of
Well, what I was
hard
told,
to tell. And here it looks very yellow.
yeah, what I was told by Nesdal was chrome yellow Ford paint. It's called Dupla color.
Mm-hmm.
And they use it for like all the yellow Ford trucks.
Then it looks orange here, or orange, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, no, it's yellow.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I got to say, Caleb, the pictures you posted of you and your son kind of putting it together was super cool.
That's
yeah,
very cool. Yeah.
dude, every little piece that came in the mail for that thing, I would say, "This is the tuners," and like he would just go, he's getting into it for sure. So
It's cool.
like he really got excited when the bridge finally came because I showed him the picture of the bridge that Adam put the bridge in his little bridge studio, like that he takes pictures of his bridge and they just look amazing because he's got like a setup, I guess, at his
Bridge studio.
bridge studio. And so I was like, "That's coming," and he was like, "Wow!" So he did the unboxing with me. It's exciting. So,
Nice.
no, he's excited.
Fret Level Midnight says, I think this Caleb guy hates Van Halen.
Is it that obvious?
He's in a Van Halen tribute band, dude. Come on,
Yeah,
man.
hate him.
Yep.
You literally cannot be more off base.
I would think among us, yeah. I mean,
I think he's being sarcastic.
Yeah, I think he's being sarcastic.
I know he is. I know. I hope he is.
No, just
Can't stand him.
totally indoctrinated.
can't stand you.
Totally indoctrinated at a young age. So, there you go.
Yeah, I wonder what would happen. Like, what would have happened in my musical,
Life.
life if I didn't have an older brother that basically forced me to listen to Van Halen and Rush and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really.
I wonder what would happen if I never met him at a young age, because that's what really blew it open for me,
Mm.
Like
Was he one of the first sort of celebrity or musician, well-known musicians you've met?
well, that's a good question. My dad was a screenwriter after he was a photographer, and so
Yeah, your dad obviously met a lot of.
I grew up in New York and Connecticut until I was 8.5, and from like 7 to 8.5, my dad was always in Los Angeles. We were living in Connecticut, and he was always here because he was writing and working out here. So finally, the folks decided to move to Los Angeles, and I'll never forget the first thing, almost like in the first week when we moved here, was my dad called his old buddy Paul Michael Glazer and took us to the set of Starsky and Hutch
Starsky and Hutch.
on the Fox lot, and
Also, I think William Blinn was also a writer on Starsky and Hutch. Not related to me, but Blinn is my last name. William Blinn. I think he wrote the movie and may have been the creator of Starsky and Hutch.
so
Love that car, by the way.
So that was, I think Starsky was like the first major celebrity that I remember meeting.
Who was that actor?
Paul Michael Glaser.
Oh yeah.
And my dad and him used to play like on a softball team in Central Park, like in the early '70s. So before Paul Michael Glaser was anything, you know, he knew who my father. He knew my father and him were friends, and so my dad looked him up when he got out here, and he's like, "Yeah, come on down." And we
That's
went.
badass.
And it was like the #1 show in the world at that point. And I remember just like, oh my God, and he's like, "What do you want to do when you grow up?" And I said, "I want to do what you do." And he goes, and he was like, "No, you don't." And am I loud? Close the door. And
I'm getting yelled at too.
yeah. So right, and we're West Coast.
Whisper time.
Yeah.
No, he literally said like, "No, you don't." Like, and then he gave me a whole spiel about how it's the worst life you could ever live, and it's awful. And
He's not lying.
And I remember leaving with my dad, and my dad's looking at me going, "I'm sorry about that. Like, I didn't know he was so bitter, you know." But he was like totally jaded and hated it, and that's why he became a director soon after that. Like, he left acting completely.
Well, at least he was being honest with you, right? Trying to, I guess he.
Yeah, but I was 8, you know, like
Yeah.
well,
It kind of destroyed your dreams if you wanted to go there, right? I guess.
it's true. Like,
But then when you were 13.
yes. So, and you know, and after that, there were several people. Like my folks are really good friends with the Aldas, so I've always known Alan Alda growing up.
Really?
And
Great actor.
and Sam Waterston is like my dad's best friend. So
Wow.
Cool.
those kind of people have been in my life the whole time. So
Alan Alda, what was the PBS series that he was in?
it was a science show or something.
Yeah, science show. I don't know, but I followed that for a long
I
time.
remember it was awesome.
I remember a story about Alan Alda. I remember going. We would go to his house for dinner in Bel Air.
Scientific America.
Yeah, I think it was like Scientific American or something like that.
We go to his house in Bel Air. You know, beautiful house. He was like the highest paid actor on television at the time. And
Yeah, I mean the '80s got MASH. Come on.
yeah, I mean, just think like in 1981, he's the guy making $250,000 an episode.
Jesus.
An episode.
In 1981.
81 to this day, to today's dollars.
That's
Holy
like
man!
$2 million an episode or something.
Yeah.
In today's money. So
Wow.
I remember he was like this video game nut. So he showed us in television for the first time.
Oh wow.
He had
Really?
in television.
Well, wasn't it? Who was the guy who pitched in television? The guy, like the classic British actor, or was it? Oh, jeez, I can't even think of. But he was always in the commercials for in television, and he was like, "Oh, it is the new." You know.
Oh yeah.
I can't think of it. I'll look it up.
I remember he showed us that game.
Yeah, get to work, John.
It was insane. Yeah, look it up. Look it up, producer. So anyway,
George Plimpton.
George Plimpton. There you go.
yeah.
Oh, George Plimpton. He did Masterpiece Theater.
Yeah, he did.
I used to watch him on that.
And Alan Alda played George Plimpton in Paper Lion. Or Paper was it
Really?
Paper, which is that movie about George Plimpton actually suiting up for the Lions or something. Forgot, but maybe that's where that connection
And
is.
then Martha Plimpton was in Goonies.
Yeah. and River Phoenix was in Martha Plimpton.
All right. There's the full circle right there. Perfect.
Yeah, the Kevin Bacon.
Your 6 degrees of Martha Plimpton.
Well, I don't want to turn this into a negative, but I think when the whole like jaded thing about, you know, being in the business and, you know, the handful of like big bands that we toured with, we were never big, obviously, but the bands, you know, above us, like meeting all those guys, like, I don't know if human beings were meant to be famous. I really don't, man. You know, because I can't think of any of them that had like, you know, that were happy. It was always like, you know, stuff going on and this and that. Or, you know, it was just.
I mean, especially musicians. I remember when I was tour managing Tonic, and just the kind of life we were living on the road, as far as just the pace. When you come off that, there's like 2.5 weeks of like the most severe depression because you're home and nothing's happening.
Yep.
And you're coming off a life where things
I can imagine. Yeah.
constantly moving and going, and you know, attention and all this action.
And the rush that you get when you hit the stage.
Yeah.
You can't like, you know,
It's like a drug.
Oh.
It's like a drug.
It's the most fun thing in the world. Is that moment right before you get on stage, even if you're sick, even if you're about to throw up. It's the greatest feeling in the world because you have no idea what's going to happen, and there's people waiting for you. So, so yeah, that whole time in like 96, 97 for me was awesome. But then we came off the road, and I didn't know what to do. So I could only imagine, and I wasn't even in the band, so I could only imagine what it was like, what it's like for big acts that do that, and then they don't tour.
Think of the biggest of the acts. You know, you
got
4 nights a week. You're playing to 20 to 50,000 people. I mean, it's a different audience every night. You know, 4 or 5 nights a week, whatever you're. You know, in the height of any big. You know, think of a band like Van Halen or you know, Queen or something like that, when they were playing stadiums every night, or Van Halen in 1988, they were playing Monsters of Rock headlining, you know, for 50,000 people every couple of nights. What does that do to you?
And Eddie would be
and it makes you do coke all the time. So it you know, to simulate the rush. So, but anyway,
that's what I mean. Is like,
yeah, they all find, I mean, a substitute for that high. Yeah,
he was what? He started drinking when he was like 13 or whatever it was, just to get over nerves. His father gave him, you know, I mean, just to get on stage. I mean, he did it.
Father said, "Yeah, you want to be able to do this?
Yep.
Getting crazy. Here, do this." You know,
yeah, I mean,
yeah.
Because I mean, when after like the whole touring thing with my band, like when it all kind of ended, I mean, people would like, you know, friends of mine, you know, I'd come home and they'd want to hang out, and I didn't really want to, you know, it was weird. It was like you come home from tour and you're like, you'd think that you want to like see everybody and go out. I don't want to do anything, you know, and I've almost become a homebody.
You wanted to get back on stage.
I just wanted to stay home.
Oh,
no, but I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's either like the one extreme
or yeah. The high, yeah, I get you. Okay.
Well, no, it's you know that going out with them ain't gonna touch what you were just going out and doing.
I don't understand what it is. I mean, I'd love to talk to like a psychologist or whatever about like what it does to you. Where
Johnny, book one.
Yeah, we gotta talk to somebody.
Yeah, mentally, it does have to do something to you.
Where when you, I mean, we never had that like huge of a fan base, but you know, going out on stage and you get that pocket of people right up front.
Well, I would think in your case, Jay, where you were, you know, kind of an unknown playing on a huge festival.
Yeah.
Where people discovered you that day, for the most part.
Right.
And you had to win that audience every day.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is after like the album was out for a while and then we'd go on tour and there'd be a small pocket of people that, you know, knew the words, and right before we got on stage, you know, there was a small like pocket of like people.
That's gotta be
the
one
diehards, yeah. In a different city every night too. I
mean, you're not covering somebody else's songs. They are actually getting into what you guys created, and they're singing along with the words. That's got to be.
Well, there's one show. There's one show I remember. It was in Philadelphia or in Pennsylvania at the Croc Rock. If anybody's ever been or played there.
The Cock Rock?
The Croc Rock in Pennsylvania. And I remember the show, man, and there's one chorus where I do like the lower harmony to it. And the people in front of me were singing louder than I couldn't even hear my own voice.
Really?
And I was like, holy crap, like it was just a weird thing. You know, I was always the type of person that always thought like, yeah, whatever, you know, it's no big deal.
Well, you remember A Year and a Half in the Life, Metallica?
Oh yeah.
Where Kirk is describing an audience member who was the guy who was on acid. Well, I you know, at the end of the story, he says, well, I should say he was on acid, but he's talking about how the audience gives you this thing, and it's like, and then the band projects it back out to the audience. It was kind of cool the way Kirk described it all, you know. In the band will bring it.
And Caleb, you all can attest to this. Like when you're on stage and the crowd is into it, it even fuels you more to like, yes. But when, you know, Connecticut, for instance, every time we played in Connecticut, it was like dead. For some reason, Connecticut never liked us. I don't know why.
That sounds about right for Connecticut.
But it was weird, man. Like we'd hit the stage, people on the guardrail in front, like, yeah, whatever, these guys suck. And then you couldn't like give it back to them. And it was almost like the show, you know, we sucked because of it.
Yeah.
Did you play in Hartford at the Meadows?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We played the
Meadows,
the Hartford Civic Center with Slipknot.
Oh wow.
Yep.
Well, you know, that's
with the Mayflowers, right? Same thing. And Caleb, when you get up with your Halen, I mean, it's all interaction, right, with the crowd.
Well, I'm just trying to remember my stuff, so I'm
yeah, you have a hard enough job.
But
yeah, but come on, you get that rush though, Caleb.
You know why bands usually do the first two songs back to back? So they don't get a dead reaction to that first one.
Yeah, just plow right through it and
get to the next song.
Oh, really? Okay.
Keep it going. Yeah.
Get to the next one and just try and keep
bang them both out.
Because if you stop,
because if you do fail on that first one,
the first song, and then you get nothing, that sets the tone. Like it. So bands, like for a long time, they would just do the first two songs right in one and the other without like a break.
Oh, sure. I think that's kind of like, you know, any band it's going to set up a set list. You want to blow them away with the first two songs.
The reason is because you don't want that and you know, and then there's
dead. Throw them in and can't. Yeah. Okay. You know? Yeah.
No,
Frank, what about you? What do you? What's your experience? Because I mean, you toured, obviously.
Yeah. I think Michael and I are the two that haven't really. I mean, I've worked with touring bands, but I never toured myself.
Yeah, Johnny, what's your experience
with
touring with the Mayflowers or whoever?
Touring and crowds and
the crowd reaction, just the
and then coming home and like not, you know, your kind of mindset changes when you have to deal with that
because
it's well that's why. And real quick, I just saw my name in here.
Johnny has to be quiet.
Exploring Ginger, welcome. Thank you for watching. Thank you. No. I've played a bunch of shows and touring and everything. There was one show. I was in this band up in Sacramento, California, and we played it was called the something theater. I don't remember, but I remember the crowd was singing along to every song. They knew the words to every song that we were doing, and that was the only time that's ever happened. You know, and it was weird.
Yeah,
I mean, it was cool. It was cool, but it was strange. Yep. You know.
Yeah,
and. You're talking about the touring and coming home. You know, that's why there's that Dinner with the Van Halens, Saturday Night Live sketch.
Yeah.
Where Eddie goes home, you know, and he brings his roadies home, and Valerie is pissed off.
Yeah.
That they're answering the phone for him, throwing the phone towards him,
dimming the lights,
checking the food, everything they were doing, you know. That's like a joke on the whole thing of bringing that entire lifestyle home with you.
No,
when you're at that level.
Yeah, I've never toured as a musician, so I've only done it as a tour manager, and you know, so but for what I did, like we had like just a great time because the music was really good. I don't know if you know the band Tonic, that first record. My best friend was the drummer. and you know, so they were playing in LA at some clubs in LA for like a couple years under a different name. They had the name Radio Flyer, and then they changed it to Tonic when they recorded their record. And I'll never forget, like, because I was like their main road. Like, I'm just the bro who would help them, you know, with shit when stuff went wrong during the show. I'd be the first guy to jump up and straighten their mic stand or whatever, you know, because I could see it all.
If the singer knocks the kick drum mic out of the kick drum,
yeah,
which they always do for some reason,
notices, you know, that shit. So I would be first on it. So they were about to release their record. The drummer got married, and at the wedding, they all like pulled me aside and said, "So we're going out in 3 weeks for 6 weeks, and we want you to be our tour manager." And I went like, "What does he do?" You know, I had no idea what a tour manager does, and they're like, "We don't know either." And I was like, "Let me think about it." And they gave me that day. They gave me the pre-release of the CD, which wasn't coming out for 3 months. Like we went and toured for 2.5 months before the record was released. So they just had one single on the radio called "Open Up Your Eyes," and I'll never forget just putting that CD on in my car. And I remember when I didn't have a phone then. It was 1996, and so I called them right when I got home, and I was like, "Let's go," you know, because I could hear the record. I knew the record was going to be a hit. I knew they were going to blow up. And so, you know, in a couple weeks, I'm literally in a van, you know, and you know, we got in the van and drove straight to Dallas from Los Angeles. And I'll never forget, there's a checkpoint at Truth or Consequences, New Mexico, like an immigration checkpoint. And I had like half a joint in the.
You must have been shitting a brick.
Well, I forgot. And
we were so stoned you forgot.
I pulled in to the checkpoint, and the guy, you know, leans in the window and goes, "So where are you going?" And we're like, "Dallas." And he goes, what are you guys doing there? And he goes, "Oh, we're musicians. We're playing a show." And he goes, "Musicians? Pull to the right."
Oh, wrong answer, right?
We're checking.
We work on Wall Street. Keep going.
So they bring out the dog, and the dog goes right to where, you know, the little thing is, and he goes, "There's you know, there's contraband on the vehicle. You give it up right now, and you know, things might go well for you." And I was just like, I'm shitting, because these guys are about to, like, you know, they got the full label A&M Records behind them. They're about to do this thing, and I'm the guy that might put us all in jail.
In a different country.
Well, in a different state, yeah, but
For a freaking little joint.
for half a joint.
Oh God.
So I just went in and, you know, took it out, and I just remember like the guys were looking at me like, "What the fuck are you doing?" You know, and you know, so stupid, and I felt so bad. And the guys looking, he goes, "That's all there is?" And I go, "That's all there is." And he goes, you know, he goes, personal use. They start saying that to all each other, you know, to each other, personal use. And he goes, "All right, you know," but they made us wait for like an hour while they talked. But that's
Really
sweat, you know, so you never do it again. And
I'm looking at the tour schedule. Did you were you part of the Late Show? Did you guys do the Late Show?
yeah,
David Letterman.
yeah,
August 6th, 97. Later, David Letterman.
yep. Actually,
You guys had a busy year. 97, 96.
96, 97. Yeah, I blew out my back. It's crazy, but it was fun.
A lot of festivals. You played a lot of stadiums. Man.
Well, the best thing about all that was every show they played, they gained 50 to 100 fans right there.
that must be cool to be involved now, watching them grow.
And these people had no idea what they were about to see. That was really cool, because we toured the first
Conan O'Brien.
Yeah, the first few tours were just, you the first 6 months we were playing in front of people, and hopping onto other people's tours, so we didn't have to worry about a following, because we really didn't have anything nationwide, and so people would come expecting to see another band, and then they'd see us play. And I don't know if you've heard that first Tonic record. It's basically 11 amazing songs, and they would play 7 or 8 of them, and they were just an amazingly tight band with a bunch of different tunings. Every song had a different tuning and a capo in a different spot. So that's, your ears go like, this is really good music. And that's why your ears would tell you that, because
they did a cover of Eastbound and Down.
Yeah.
I guess that was after, it looks like that was after your time, but I'm just looking, I remember Tonic. Yeah. And looking at some of their history here.
Yeah.
Eastbound and Down from King of the Hill. That was a great tune.
Dude, here's a great story. King of the Hill, we toured with the Refreshments. You remember the band?
Yeah, I remember that.
They did the main title for King of the Hill, right?
They recorded the main title at a sound check at the 930 Club.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's when King of the Hill came out, 97, I think.
They did a DAT recording at the sound check of the King of the Hill theme.
Wow.
They were sound checking.
Yeah.
Straight back to the show.
That is crazy.
That's really cool.
It was amazing. Like, we watched it. They did it 3 times or something. And we're like, what's that for? And they're like, oh, there's this new show coming up by the guys.
Oh, shit. It was just
one random night in Washington, D.C. It's crazy. Exactly. Those guys are great. That was a fun show. We opened for them and Dishwalla. And it was really cool, because we would play our songs, and then we'd load out, and then we'd just party the rest of the night while they were playing. All the other bands were playing. So we're just meeting people and, trying to hook up and all that shit. But the whole for me, all just besides the physical ailments that I attained, it was.
You said you threw out your back? You want to go into that story, or is that too long or what?
I blew out my back.
How? Blew out? Holy shit!
Oh yeah, I had to have surgery.
Did you have a road crew, or were you the road crew?
Well, yeah, I was the road crew.
You were the roadie?
I was gonna say, it sounds like he was the road crew and everything, man.
For the first 3 months, I was everything.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you were carrying 4x12s upstairs and stuff like that, and carrying kick drums upstairs and all that.
Well,
shit.
with the guys helping.
Exactly.
But when you're the guy, you got to just make shit happen.
You do it.
You're doing the extra pushing when no one's around, all that. And I'm the one driving the whole time, because I can't ride in a car unless I'm driving. It's impossible for me. I wasn't gonna try. I didn't trust any of them, and they were all shitty drivers. So, we had a trailer, so it wasn't easy, but
life on the road, right?
It was great. Like, I remember the first time we went to a radio station and did an on-air. That was surreal, because they actually played the song on the radio. That was like the first time the song was ever on a radio station. And
what was their hit? The
big one was "If You Could Only See."
Yeah,
great song.
The biggest rock radio song of 1998, I think. Or maybe
before that.
97?
Before that. 96, 97, something like that.
It was 97. It wasn't 96. But
see when it was.
It was, like, you'd look out in the crowd, and every guy had his girl right in that little snug position, right here.
It came out in 96.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't released, though, till the end of the year. So, yeah.
Yeah, the 90s.
I would love
90s music,
to
man.
talk to somebody about, So wait, who's the shrink in here? Music therapy? Laz, is that you?
Yeah, isn't there someone in the chat, music therapy? There you go, 7/8.
Do we have a shrink in the house?
It's not me.
In the house.
Who was just in the pool?
Oh. Actually, it'd be backwards.
It'd
Wouldn't
be
it?
backwards.
Nobody's heard from Rob and Jay and Dave,
And Steve Anderson.
Steve Anderson.
I
Seems awfully quiet. I mean, it seems like we should have heard from them and what's going on. And I guess they're having a good time and they're doing their own thing.
I've known.
I mean, because it's 3 a.m. or 3:10 in the East, so they're either asleep or just partying, having fun.
No.
Yeah, probably sleeping.
Rob's got to be knocked out by now.
Yeah.
Is there such a thing as like a therapy for musicians, like touring musicians?
Have you seen Some Kind of Monster?
Yeah, but that guy's just
that guy was a joke. But
the funniest thing about that whole shit was
that was great though, but because that's exactly what you're talking
there.
about.
It's Lars versus James, right? And this guy's job is to get them back together, pretty much. I mean,
and Dave too. Don't forget, Dave was been part of that too. Mustaine,
whatever.
He brought Mustaine in for that.
Yeah, I know. But the whole time, it's like Lars versus James, and he's trying to like help smooth the whole thing with them. And then once he gets them back together, then they team up on him and they fire his ass.
Like, I'm going on the road with you guys, right? No, I don't think we're gonna need you on the road.
Yeah.
So.
And then remember we handed the lyrics in.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're like, what?
But that was, I mean, that's like the perfect. I mean, exactly what you're talking about. Like some guy who just comes in and he's the psychiatrist, or like even sports teams have those things. Like where they bring in the psychiatrist.
But I'm just talking about somebody that's like not with the band all the time. I'm talking about somebody that when you get home and it's hard to kind of, because.
Well, the real deal, like if you really need like a professional. I mean, not the Metallica professional, but no, you're right. I mean, because there is a legit like psychological issue you got to deal with after that. I can imagine. So
there really is, because I think a lot of it has to do with relationships, and a lot of these guys, I think, that hit that level of like superstardom. They're hanging out with these models and hot ass chicks that think that they love them.
Mm-hmm.
The next thing you know, they're pulling their hearts out of their chests, and these guys can't handle it. I think that has a lot to do with it. They don't find somebody that actually loves them for who they are. I know this sounds corny.
And then no, you're right. And then the money aspect of it too, right? I mean, who gets what, who has the rights, how much money. That's one thing when Rush, when they started to get some kind of notoriety, they sat down and were like, we're not going to get tore apart like the bands before us. We're literally going to go 1/3, 1/3, 1/3 as far as the money goes.
Yep.
Okay. And then we're just going to get rid of all the drama and all the monetary bullshit.
Yeah, Rush did it right. You watch the documentary about Rush on the road, and you watch Gene Simmons talking about them behind the scenes. And he's like, they were dorks, they were nerds, they were like,
yeah, exactly. Boring.
I don't want to. I always interrupt, but a woman that I work with, an English specialist, actually, in the early '80s when Rush was coming to Boston. She's like a French specialist, and or French teacher and all that kind of. And so Rush wanted French lessons, and she taught the 2 or 3 of them a private lesson in French. This woman that I work with,
Cool,
just to beside the point, like she got to teach Getty and Alex, or I don't know who it was, but a French lesson when they came through Boston.
Well, I'll tell you guys this, as far as the touring thing and band thing, right? The drummer for my band is also my wife's brother, right? So got in the band with Jimmy, my drummer, and then met his sister and all his history. But he is the type of person that when we started playing together, and did I say that wrong?
No. You said you met his sister, and then
sorry. 2 of these, and I'm, whatever. But long story short is, he was easily the most talented guy in the band, right? Musically. And once we got to the level of like the band was taken seriously and, started touring and the record deal and stuff, it wasn't fun for him anymore. It was like he enjoyed just doing local shows and playing drums. And then once it turned into a job, it was like, this isn't fun anymore, you know? And I think that's the different type of mentality. It's like he played drums because he loved it. He didn't play drums to like be in a huge band and you know, make money and all that crap. He played drums because he liked playing drums.
There's a lot of stories like that.
Yeah. And when it became serious for him, it wasn't fun anymore.
Look at the guy that played on Pearl Jam 10. Matt, is it Cameron?
No,
their drummer.
Amber.
Their drummer didn't tour with them.
He was
that first album.
Best drummer, but
yeah,
you know,
or the drummer from REM, I think was. I mean, there's a lot of, I mean, not necessarily just drummers, but band members who just, you know, yeah, the life on the road didn't fit with them.
He didn't like it at all, man. At all.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you think people, they put in all that work to get to a certain level. And some people, you get to that level and it's like they don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was like, he just wanted to play drums. You know, you hear these like athletes say it all the time. It's like, oh, you know, this is, I do what I do for all the haters and the doubters out there. I'm like, wait a minute. Don't you do it for yourself? Like that should be the main driving force is you. And you know, why should you have to prove anything to anybody else?
Why do you have to prove other people wrong? Just do it for the love of it. Yeah.
You love to do it. You know?
Yeah.
And that's the thing. It's like, you know, I'd be practicing our songs at home to get them tight, and he'd be, you know, playing the drums, practicing other stuff. And then getting to band practice, that's when he would work on our stuff. And it was, you know, had a few.
Well, like how did that turn out? Did he tour? He toured with you guys, and
we had to actually get a different drummer for a while because he has decor vein syndrome. I don't know if any drummers know what I'm talking about, but it's something. There's a sheath or something for these veins, and when you do this motion as a drummer, you know, he said it felt like lightning was shooting through, like electricity was shooting through his.
So something like nerves, then, right? I guess.
Well, he had he didn't have the surgery, but anyway, long story short, we were playing a show, and I were looking back at him, and he had his right, I think it was his right arm or his right hand. Maybe it was his right, whatever it was. But I looked back and he had, do I have a drumstick up here? I don't. I'll use this as a drumstick, right? He had, instead of holding a drumstick, you know, normal or this way or whatever, he had the drumstick between these two fingers because he couldn't.
Wow, really?
I look back and he's like looking at me like, dude, it hurts so bad right now, where he had to like play like this.
Yeah.
And,
you want to make, the drum set should be floating.
Tuck those fingers in, man. They shouldn't.
You can play like this if you want.
Yeah, it's kind of like carpal tunnel. And the weird thing is that his sister, my wife, has the same thing. Like she always has issues with her. I think it's her right wrist as well. So it's a hereditary thing, I guess. But
ouch! Now, man,
it can't be fun when you play drums.
Anybody catch the tweet that the nerd I put on the Nerd Halen Twitter? The Valerie one.
I saw it.
It's pretty fun. Here, check this out. This is. I spelled thought though I misspelled it. But.
Oh yeah, I retweeted that actually. Okay.
And some idiot posted, "Why wouldn't you pick a better song?" I'm like,
yeah, right?
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Aftershock, you idiot.
She said aftershock, dummy.
Yeah.
Yeah, dummy.
The moth.
Dummy. Stupid fan that I need.
You dick.
Well, hey, guitar players in the chat room and us here, have you noticed like the older you get, the more time it takes for you to like warm up and play?
No, for me, no.
Really?
You know what? I feel like I have to save myself, because if I play too much, then my hand will get tired, like it'll get tight. So
Fatigue.
The worst feeling though as a guitar player is that sticky neck.
You can't move around.
Where your hand is like producing some kind of residue that's making your neck sticky, like you need to like baby powder it or something. It's not moving right, you know.
I hate sticky neck.
Anybody else have that problem?
No.
No? Okay. Anyway.
No, I just personally, like I've never had to really warm up. I would do it just to kind of, get the blood flowing or whatever. But like nowadays, I'll notice if I pick the guitar up and try to play something
immediately,
like fast, immediately,
yeah.
my fingers get tight, and it never used to happen.
I was just gonna say, I think it really depends on the type of music, the speed that you're playing, right? If you're playing, just casual chords,
yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, exactly. But if you're gonna come in and start going, all, Ingve type, if you
Mach 10,
yeah, Mach, yeah. I mean, it's as you get older, like everything else, right? As you get older, it gets harder to do everything, man. It's age, man. It's progression, I guess.
Yep.
So you just need to warm up.
I said, yeah, Renus Pinkel. I said sticky neck, not stinky neck.
Sticky neck, sticky neck.
You wonder why
sticky neck's just as bad.
You wonder why, like mid-show, no one in the band goes near Caleb on stage. They're all like on the other side. Stinky neck.
I don't know, for a 25-year-old neck, this is not that stinky.
Oh my gosh.
It's a good smelling neck.
Did you see my story the other day? And Johnny, I sent you the picture. I changed the strings. I took everything apart. I cleaned the neck on this bad boy. Yeah, man. Look at that.
Look at that. 7 strings.
My Levi rainbow. She calls it unicorn tape, so it's okay. It's unicorn tape.
No.
Aw.
Little EVH.
And you know what? She has better. She's better at telling colors than
guitar company.
Than Weasel.
And do you see my Red Bishop? Come on.
Wait a minute.
Bishop.
So if anybody's an Ibanez fan in here and knows about the Low Pro, this is not the Low Pro trem arm. I replaced. Look at that.
Look at that.
Isn't that sexy?
Look at it.
Look at it. Yeah.
Look at it. Don't you want that, baby?
So with any of these trims, we all know that the arm is black on these things. So I replaced it, and it's awesome, man.
I want to get me some of that.
Yep. Killer. And this is a swimming pool route. You can hear the holly.
Oh yeah, I'm taking the G sticker off. Here it comes.
What is it for there?
Oh, here we go.
This is really nothing. It's an M. It's like an M, and you can see the where the skunk piece comes in.
I'm glad there was like a winning lottery ticket from like 1997.
There is a stamp. Looks like there's a date stamp on there that's worn away. July 96, I guess. All right. This is going to go on eBay. You can have this if you want, the G sticker. $38.
How much is shipping?
Yeah.
14. $14 shipping, $38.
$14 shipping.
You can have it.
No, just put it in another like a gift bag, like with all the stickers and pics. You know,
Mm-hmm.
put that in. Like,
No problem.
oh man.
So I'll get some sandpaper and some spray paint this week, and we're gonna get that going. The 78 Frankie.
You're gonna keep putting up updates, man.
Just do
That's right.
one stripe at a time and make sure they're all like.
Perfect.
It'll be slow going. If I can
Make
get it
sure
done by the
they're
end
all-
of the, if I can get it done by the end of the year, I'll be happy.
Make sure they're all perfect, otherwise you will get tore up.
Well, I know that's the thing. I can't be doing a hack job on that.
You will be ripped to shreds.
Yeah.
I still hate myself for the one wrong stripe on this guitar.
And you probably lose sleep at night because of that.
I do.
That's what I'm saying. If Caleb can do it, I can do it.
One wrong stripe.
If Steve Anderson can do it, I can do it. If David Nesdahl can do it, I can do it. And
Yeah.
I do have my own. I did stripe up a yellow and black. I gotta find the picture now from high school. When I was in high school, I made a guitar and shop class.
Hey, did anyone say hi to JJ's House of Jams in here?
I did.
You did?
Yep.
Where the hell?
JJ, what's up, man?
JJ, brother, what up?
What's up? And hey, Renus Pinkle, if you want a guitar pick, message me on Facebook at Johnny Beane TV. There you go. And like the page.
And it's only $20 shipping.
I gotta tell you a funny story. JJ came to the Nerd Halen show last month in Anaheim, and
Don't forget this one.
oh my god,
Is that Jeff Tate on the left?
oh my god,
Jeff Tate.
rid of that going on there.
I'm sorry.
Don't tell that, Johnny. I'll kill you.
Is that going to be a thumbnail?
All right, this is a better one then. Here we go. That's cool.
Thank you.
Keep that one up.
Oh yeah. Look at that.
Legendary.
That
Where's
is freaking awesome right
Where's
there.
that where's that t-shirt?
It's right in the other room. I was gonna wear it tonight.
Why didn't you?
I don't know. Should I wear the autographed one?
No, frame it.
Yeah, I gotta get a frame. For
Yeah,
it or
I can
something.
frame it. That's true.
James 1967 says you guys would be fun on the Roth show with Dave.
Yeah, we get a word in.
Yeah, we wouldn't get a word. And we'd have to laugh at every one of his jokes that he thinks are jokes but aren't jokes.
Yeah, and I'd have to not get like ill every time he sucks the spit out of his mouth. You ever
Oh,
when he does that?
I never noticed that.
When he just
Oh yeah.
he just like
Yep.
you know, you can hear him like it's just eesh.
There
But
you
if
go.
you're watching, David, you're invited on the show.
Yeah, Dave, here's fun. We love you.
Roth
This is the black,
man.
the yellow and black guitar I made in high school.
Say something. It's
The hole in the road.
Yes, it's just an odd shape, and it's
Is it a fake
yellow and no, it's I zoomed in on the
What's
picture.
going on?
There's me in my Van Halen room.
Oh
That was my
wow.
room in high school. I've shown this before, but
Wait, you had hair?
I had hair. When I was 16, I had hair. Believe it or not.
His forehead is
Wait, look at that
Wait.
room, man. That is awesome. Look at that room.
Every picture is Van Halen. It's all Van Halen.
Bubba, remember that?
Bum equipment.
That is cool.
It's a Harmony neck.
So in 17 is when you lost it? Your hair?
Yeah, shortly after high school.
How long did you try to deny it and do the swoop over and
Up
all
the
that?
comb overs, right?
There's
Or
my
you just-
Halloween 6th grade right there. I've seen. Oh yeah, I've shown you. Halloween 6th grade punk.
Holy shit. Wow.
No, but that was my high school. That was my. I wish I had that body. I don't know what happened to it. My parents threw it away or something. Or
What?
What?
crazy.
And
One
you
of those
still-
things.
and
One
you
of those
still
things
love
as a
them?
kid, you just
What?
you
That was the
you
same
lose track of. Or
back by two different people. That was-
what's that?
Me and Michael just did the same exact like everything. It was
Let's
the
all
same-
do it.
The exact tone. 1, 2,
Do it
3.
again.
What? And then I said, "You still love them."
I love my parents.
Of
Absolutely.
course you do. Of
course
course
I do.
you. That is,
No, I don't know what happened to it. It was
badass room, man. That's like a shrine to Van Halen. That's awesome.
well, it was for about a year or two, and then I was like, and it,
I was saying something about JJ actually, real quick. He came down to the Nerd Halen show in Anaheim because he lives close by, and he actually filmed the whole show on his phone, and then I tried to get the video from him because I wanted him to do it, and we tried everything. Like he couldn't get it onto Dropbox, and we just, or every kind of way to do it, and finally he ended up giving me the password to his iCloud.
can you post it in the chat there for us?
the Discord.
But so, which I felt so weird about going into, like, okay, I'm just coming in here for these videos. Like I didn't look at anything else, and I promise. But it was just a weird feeling to just like.
And then next thing you know, your scroll is. Ooh, what do we have here? What do we have here?
Every other picture you see.
Wow. That's, yeah. What's the goat doing there? Anyway.
The Nesdal shirtless pictures.
Anyway, no. But JJ, thanks so much, dude, for doing that.
Oh my god.
I'm not sure who Drop is in the chat, but Drop is saying the weight in the neck was to add strength to the tension when the guitar was strung up. I don't know if it's that little weight down there or that little thing. If that's what he's talking about. I think that's just like an anchor for the truss thread.
I have no clue about that stuff.
Nesdal.
Yeah,
that's a Nesdal question.
Yeah. John Beale, call Nesdal right now.
I don't have his number. You got his number.
No, yeah, call him right now.
No problem.
He's always like, "Oh, you called me at 2 a.m. and you posted
Rob.
something at 2 a.m. and you woke me up."
Yeah, call Rob. Rob's probably up.
Call Rob.
Yeah, Rob's probably up and doing something.
Well,
yeah.
Rob's definitely up.
Rob's up in. Up in.
Caleb, did you watch last night's show? Yeah, you were on last night. I saw some of that.
And wow.
Yeah, it was a good show.
Wow.
Everybody's up over there.
Hey, more power to him. It looks like he's having a really good time. And
Absolutely. Good. Oh, absolutely. More power to him.
You're 45 years old and you're with a 22-year-old. I think you get a prize.
I'm living vicariously through Rob right now.
You get a prize for that.
God bless him.
Absolutely.
And they seem so happy. So that's all that matters.
Who?
She's a cool chick too. She's a real cool chick.
Oh, she's cool as shit. Hell yeah.
Those two seem happy.
It's 4 weeks in. I think everyone's happy at that point.
Oh yeah, God yeah.
That's the honeymoon phase, whatever.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's talk
There.
to 6 months. Let's have
we'll see in 6 months.
That was today. There they are.
Well, they're not dating.
Well, those two look very
Yeah.
happy. Those two have been happy for years anyway.
Yeah.
Like Johnny and Rob.
I love Rob's poses and pictures because he looks so unthreatening. That guy will just kick your fucking ass.
Meanwhile, if you tell him, if you turn around and try to tell him to go fuck himself, the F you and your neck is snapped, and that's it, and you're dropped.
So funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, JR's like, please, no more girlfriends on the show.
Really?
Why not?
I tried to get Jeannie on tonight, but she didn't have a shirt on, so she was like,
Holy freaking moly.
Oh,
She didn't have a shirt. Okay, well.
I think that's the prerequisite
you
now.
know, adjust, huh?
Shit.
Gotta adjust your pants there.
Yeah.
Just the thought of it.
Well, if she wants to come on the show, it's it's her prerogative.
Nah, she's I always ask her, I'm like, hey, you want to come on tonight? No.
Speaking of
Hell
Genie,
no.
did anyone see that meme of where it's I Dream of Jeannie and the major's there sitting there next to her and he's got this tiny little head and the meme says, "That's not what I meant."
Yeah, I put that up. I think it's
Gotta be a Michael Smith post.
that was a weird wish master. I think is what it was said.
Oh no, I think it just said, "That's not what I meant."
A little head.
Give me a little head. So good.
Good.
I was crying. I think when I saw that, I was literally crying. Oh.
Yeah, she's had to deal with that for a long time. The whole genie in a bottle crap, and she can't stand it. Which I don't. I'd probably feel the same way. It's like, all right, I get it.
Yeah.
Whoa. Man, people are like still using their fireworks and shit. It's crazy.
Yeah, they were blowing shit up here earlier too.
Hey now.
Hey now.
Anywho. God,
We good?
I think we're good.
Wait, you got to play that at as soon as the band hits. Wait, hit the fart as soon as the.
Or this one. Do that again. Do it again.
Man.
This one's
Again?
funny.
Or the wait, I got it. Ready?
Or this one. Do it one more time. One more time. This is a good one. This is a good one.
Oh man. Oh God. Should I play another Johnny Beane sample?
Yes.
I don't want to offend anyone.
Play those Nesdal samples.
Yeah, yes,
He didn't want you to play.
No, I'm not going to do that.
Do it.
Come on.
He'll never see this. He doesn't watch any of this.
He doesn't watch.
He does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh,
I'm hogging up again already. Look at that. Yeah. I'm hogging up again already. Look at that. So what's new, you guys?
Sorry, I gotta find a nice doll. Oh, you want to do Dave?
Yeah.
I forgot what I was gonna say, man. You a rowdy bunch of mother.
David Lee Nesdal.
David Lee Nesdal. Nice.
Bocephus mode. Bocephus mode.
This is never gonna end.
No.
All right. All right. All right.
Anyway,
Hands off.
we good?
Well, no, I want to hear some Nesdal samples.
Yeah,
Yeah.
give,
I don't
come
want
on,
to
throw one out. Just one.
All right, let me see if I can
Play
find
them all.
You haven't made any of me
Play
yet?
them all.
No, I didn't put any new ones in there since people got offended. So.
Since you got yelled at.
Very cool.
Chastised
Very cool.
on live.
That's
TV.
so cool. Squeeze your balls when you're watching us. Ah, that's very funny.
It sounds like
Nesdal's with us. Nesdal's with us.
That's real bitching, actually.
it sounds like he's here. It's so weird.
This is fucking awesome.
Awesome.
Oh, I fucking
Squeeze your balls when you're watching us.
That's the one he got pissed at.
Yeah, yeah.
Man, there was a ton of good stuff I could. And Jay, I can find some good stuff with you.
Do it, man. I seriously, like, that would be funny to me.
You could, yeah.
I'll look for some more this week.
For some reason, Dave really, and I tried to like talk to him the next day. I'm like, dude, like it's funny, man.
No,
Exactly.
like I said, whatever I say on this thing, you can do whatever you want with it.
You can sample
So
the fuck
So
out of
fuck,
all.
fuck is all.
Yeah, it's not like you took a private conversation that you had with him and he said something, controversial. Like, hey, listen to what Dave said.
No, really, the thing of it is, right? It's like just think of how many hours of everybody's voice on this show. Anybody can sample you.
Yeah, it's on the internet, man.
Yeah, I mean,
Pat's dogs. Pat's dogs.
You too can download this. This is a good app, actually. I don't know what it's called.
what's the name of the app? Because I'm gonna fucking
DJ Soundbite.
DJ.
No, DJ Soundbox. DJ Soundbox.
DJ
I think it was 99 cents.
That shit is mine.
Pat's dogs.
DJ Soundbox, you said?
DJ Soundbox, yeah. Are we still live?
Yeah, John, you can you can make a full episode of us.
Wow.
Live. Of like me, Johnny, and Dave.
Wow.
Just get
Wow.
Johnny's.
Yeah. 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 Pat's dogs. Yeah. Wow.
Oh. Oh my God. Look at Michael.
You're fucking killing me right now.
I don't know. I do. I don't know. Awesome. Are we good? I don't know. Are we good? Are we good? Are we good? Are we good? Oh, I'm fogging up again already. Look at that.
I don't know what's real and what's not
I
anymore.
know.
Shit.
Well, I don't want to bring the show down.
Oh, God.
Oh.
You gotta get one that says, I got a picture.
Awesome.
I got a picture.
Oh, man.
Oh, the laugh.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Pat's dogs.
All right, that's enough.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, fun for hours.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's good.
Are we good?
Holy fuck.
Night, everybody.
Oh God, thank you, everyone.
Well, thank you,
especially Renus Pinkle.
Have a great night, everybody in the chat. Thanks so much.
Yeah,
thank you, Caleb.
I can't. My glasses, they're wet because of happening so much.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, mine fog up, man.
Did you just say that, Johnny, or was that John?
Oh, I'm fogging up again already. Look at that. Fogging up already. Look at that.
Oh.
John, can you please get some of me just so like I'm in there with Johnny and Dave?
All right, I'll work on it.
All right.
Tune in next week.
Tune in next week for the new sound bites from John BL. Fuck yeah.
Oh, thank you again. Thanks, everyone. John Harden.
Sample that.
Sean Zimmerman.
Thanks again. Thanks, everyone.
Drop. Who's Drop? I just noticed Drop.
He's
JJ's House of Jams.
Yeah, Drop's been around.
John Moronic.
Oh, here we go. All right, we're gonna rate these guys.
Fret Level Midnight. Nightbot. Music Therapy. Thank you for the therapy, music therapy, Laz.
Yeah, I might need some.
Yeah. Get in touch with Jay. He's in need for some of the therapy.
Teach me how to like want to leave my house.
Hang on.
Michael Smith.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna raid these dudes. These are a couple of really cool dudes here.
And people are still live at this hour? At this late hour?
Well, it's 6 in the morning where these guys are.
Awesome.
Oh, wait, where am I?
Were they in Hawaii?
I got 3 different computers going. I should have done over there.
John Moronic says, "Killer show." Thank you very much, man.
Thank you, John.
Thank you, John.
Dutchy
Soda Pop. Thank you.
Okay, everybody, we got 40 people in here, 44. Everybody, please jump over to this video here. Jump over there. Tell them hello. Make sure that's right.
It's a porn show.
Yeah.
I just jumped over.
Everybody jump.
All things Eric Clapton. That's a very cool title.
Everybody jump over there. Tell them
I
hello.
have to watch that. I'll have to watch that.
Everybody jump over there.
Talking about California Jam? Damn. I'm going to have to watch this. All right, guys, I'm out. No, this is cool.
What do you want us to put down? Like, hello there from the Johnny Beane show?
Yeah. Just Johnny Beane raid. Hello. You know, Johnny Beane sent me. Or whatever. Hell no. We know both you guys. They're good. Both these dudes.
I'm writing down, hello there, Johnny Beane sent us over.
Everybody, all 43 of you, jump over there.
Looks like they're talking about some interesting stuff. Deep Purple played at Sunset. Jeez, man. Whoa.
The record company go, can you just speed it up by 20 BM? Can you
What's going on?
How you doing? Is this a raid? Look, it's a Johnny Beane raid. We've been raided. Very cool.
I love it.
7 over 8. How you doing?
It's Jay.
Yes, Jay. Yes.
They're all laughing.
Look at that, Renus Pinkle. What a great name that is. Sean Zimmerman, how you doing? JJ, how you doing, man? Good to see you. Booyah. Look at that. Yes, we've been raided by Mr. Beane's gang. So very cool. Johnny Beane, how you doing?
Cheers, Johnny.
Look at that. I feel we've arrived if we've been raided by Johnny Beane's gang. Don't you think? We've arrived.
That is awesome.
Cal Jam.
Interesting to know from a psychological
Caleb.
aspect.
Yeah. Everybody, jump over there. Stay over there. They're talking about some really
It
cool.
seems very interesting, yeah. Now I got to turn it up, see if he's going to talk about Cal Jam.
All right. Say goodnight, John.
Yeah, I've had 400 hits with these things. So in
Sorry.
fact,
John.
Good night, folks.
And podcast.
Tune in Tuesday for Talking Guitars with Johnny, talking 80s music with Jay and John Mancuda, Dave Nesdahl. Thank you, Caleb.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jay, 7 over 8.
It's me.
That's you. Of course, Johnny Beane. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for another great night. Straturday night. Michael Smith.
Thank you, brother.
Always a pleasure. Thanks for everything. And thank you, John BL.
Thank you, John BL.
Thank you, John BL.
Thanks, guys.
You'll be thanking
absolutely great night. I don't even know what I'm watching. I'm watching like 2 shows, 3 shows at once here. I'm live. I'm watching Jay.
Everybody, jump over there to that other video.
Yeah.
Watch them for a bit. Give them thumbs up. Subscribe to those guys.
Tune in next week for hopefully the sanded and ready to be painted.
Yes.
Yeah,
ready to
boy.
be painted. 78 Frankie body.
Yeah, and I'll try to bring on Bumble Nerd on Saturday next Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. That'll be awesome.
Is there anything special you're doing for Nerd Halen to that guitar? I mean, you call it Bumble Nerd. Is there anything special, or is it going to be really a?
I just didn't want to call it Bumblebee because I thought it was taken. But
no worries.
It's probably. I'm hoping it'll be the new #1, especially for E-flat songs.
You know, if I paint my own of one of those, it'd be Bumble Beane.
Bumblebee.
I could do a Bumble Blin if I wanted to.
Oh, sounds like a move.
Yeah.
All right.
Again, thank you, everyone. I'm out. Good night.